I welcome you guys into my nice beautiful video here, but you have to understand that every single day that when you're doing something around life and you're making sure that you're growing, you're making sure that you're doing something prosperous, you have to be able to understand that no matter what, the other people will complain about you, but understand either way that if they do, you are always something greater. You're always making sure that you're talking louder than other people around you, because when you're doing that, you're the most popular in the town. I mean, understand, because everybody can hear your voice. I mean, everybody can understand you. I mean, understand that if you're more silent than everybody around you, you then cease to exist. But understand that if you want to be more, or else if you want to be more popular, you have to be louder in front of people. I mean, it's the only way. Now, if you understand Jesus Christ, for example, now Jesus Christ goes in front of people to be the loudest and to teach people the most. You understand? Because that's the only way in front of people. I mean, understand, in front of people, you have to speak loud. I mean, do you understand? But away from people, you can now be silent, and as silent as can be. I mean, do you understand? You can just talk to yourself. I promise you every single day that if you're going online, you're speaking the loudest. You understand? You have to speak the loudest about your success. You have to understand every single day to do something that you love to do, but understanding every single day that you place your nice beautiful selfie stick on the actual bed, and then understand every single day that when you have a nice beautiful life coaching video, you have a nice beautiful elastic band that's holding your nice beautiful microphone at the top of your selfie stick, and then just connect the elastic band like this and bend it over so that the nice beautiful microphone can be in the middle. And then either way, you have a nice beautiful selfie stick that's flat on the surface of the bed or a table, and make sure you're doing your work like this. For example, instead of having to hold the selfie stick while you are actually working with your content. But guess what? You can also hold the selfie stick, so be flexible, and more than flexible enough to work on the go with your selfie stick and your life in terms of your phone and everything you have, so that you can go and give the life coaching techniques and life videos that you have every single day to people who need it. So for example, with myself, I mean, sometimes you have to position yourself in the camera, so make sure you understand that you're in the middle of the camera all the time while looking at you're looking straight at the lens of the camera, while you're also making sure that you can position your head so it doesn't go above you. I mean, in a sense, so every single day, focus upon understanding that if you're positioning your head, you make sure that it's around this space of headline, so that you understand either way that you have a nice beautiful video going. But then make sure you understand that you can do it around people, you can do your videos around people or away from people. But understand this, that if somebody comes into your bedroom or somebody starts doing something around you, you have to understand that you have to speak up, you have to talk, and you have to understand that usually in bedrooms or anywhere in a bedroom is very quiet. So if you go around a bedroom and somebody else comes in to just pack up their stuff or put their stuff away or something like that, because you may be going hostel to hostel to hostel like I am, or you may be going motel to motel or hotel to hotel because you're richer than me. You have to understand either way. You must understand that what's amazing, that if you're richer than me, you have to do more than 700 hours of content of YouTube videos and life coaching techniques that I've already given you. You have to understand either way. You must understand that what's amazing is I have all the riches in the world, and I love going hostel to hostel to hostel, even when I'm richer. I mean, you understand, because I'm here creating content all the time. I'm doing something amazing. But what's amazing is understand that if you're anything more than other people, I congratulate you, because I need you to be more than me too. I need you to have the lifestyle. But if you believe that you deserve better than hostels and you never want to travel to hostels to travel to other countries, I mean, go and grab yourself whatever you want around the world. But I understand either way, you have Airbnb, you have also hotels, you have motels. I mean, they go around $30 to $100 more per night. So whatever you can afford is best for you. I promise you, although I've been around Australia, and I understand that no matter what, I'm still traveling the world now. So I'm always traveling everywhere, and I'm still curious about everything. I understand, although, that what's amazing about my life is that I travel so much that I'm now doing my work as much as I can, and I'm making sure that I'm profiting from my day as much as I can, and doing 1 hour segment videos while also giving money to have some internet. So if you have nice, beautiful, let's say, connection signals, that's excellent. But if there's no connection signal around Wi-Fi, but you have to give some plastic money or something like that to get some free Wi-Fi in terms of life, so that you can have a better connection signal, you give some plastic money so that you can get some internet for a couple hours or 1 hour or whatever. I always do it 1 hour at a time. I make sure every single day that if I book somebody, or if I book an event, or if I, let's say, book something in life, I do it 1 hour. I do it all 1 hour at a time. So if I hire you, I book you 1 hour at a time. I mean, what's your hourly rate is what I give you, and that's that. Now, if I make sure anything about life, I make sure I'm always growing and making sure every single day I'm focusing on giving you the information you need daily, so that you can focus upon understanding about what you need to do every single day to succeed. But make sure you understand that if you want to go and succeed much greater, you have to learn much more. You have to go and dwell upon music that you love to do, and then dwell upon your life about what you love to do, and then you understand every single day about how to live your life much greater so that you can go and develop something about your life. So for example, myself over here at the bedroom, I understand my selfie stick is on the floor because I like to do it like that. For example, I like to make sure that I can go influence myself in a way that I can use my body gestures along the way while I'm doing my videos, so I never have to go holding the selfie stick. Although I can hold the selfie stick if I want to, but I understand either way that this time I understand that I just want to do it like this because I want to have my hand gestures to show my videos, and I want to be able to understand that if you go and really pronounce yourself as somebody, I mean, guess what? You are somebody and nobody can tell you what to do. But I understand if you want to go and let's say do something better, you get away from the mosquitoes, for example, because the mosquitoes, and what happens with the mosquitoes is if you go to the mosquitoes, I promise they'll come all over you. I mean, in a sense, so if you go away from mosquitoes, I promise they'll never follow you. I promise mosquitoes never follow you anywhere. But I understand non-human animals as well. I mean, why are you next to a tiger that may attack you? I mean, understand? I mean, guess what? Or is that you have to understand that if you put yourself in dangerous situations, I mean, why are you doing that? I mean, understand. But every single day, focus on understanding that it's nobody's fault but yours about your life and where you are today. So I understand either way that I see many people who have success. I just have more success than them. I understand, although, that no matter what, I make sure to give you much more information to understand how to do so. And when I do that every single day, I understand no matter what, I'm always giving you that knowledge because I understand I know my I only. I didn't understand how to grow. I grow through the I process. I grow through understanding that no matter what, I have to go back on those words to understand that either way, I move on because I know my I only, and then I understand either way that I'm growing myself and my communicational skill daily because it's what you need to do daily to succeed with your life, to make sure that no matter what, that you're going to make sure you're prospering, you're going to make sure that you're lifting people, because that's the whole point. You have to understand that no matter what the situation is, I mean, you may have poor Wi-Fi connection. I mean, you may have people who are negative around you. I mean, you may have whatever you want, but guess what? You must understand that no matter what, you get yourself higher, you get yourself in a better position, you get yourself into a better growth state. You understand? You have to be making sure that no matter what you're doing, you have to understand that 10 years ago, I had no beard. I had no beard. I never even understood how to make a beard for myself. But guess what? I then started to learn how to make a beard for myself. I started to grow my beard. I started to groom myself in a way that I can go and do it. For example, I started to shave these parts. For example, I started to do it daily. I'm still doing it daily. I'm still cutting all my nails. I'm cutting all my nails daily. You understand? So every single day, I'm always cutting my nails. I'm looking to see the edges of my nails, and I say, hey, I see a rough edge over here. I cut it off. You understand? Because guess what? I want you to look nice and clean. I want you to always look clean with yourself. I want you to go and look the best you can be every single day, because that's the whole point of success. I promise you now, every single day, people can notice if you're looking good or not. I promise you now, every single day, try to look better for yourself. I promise you that's that. I promise you now, if you look poor, I promise you now, that's your motto then. I promise you now, guess what? I need you to look great. I need you to understand every single day that you're going to be rocking up to a public speaking event, but everybody is coming to see you at the event. I promise you, because you're popular, because you have something going for you. You understand? I promise you every single day that if you focus on yourself the most, you shall prosper, you shall grow. But I understand now, since I'm doing a lot about life in music production and everything, I understand that the longer I go throughout life, the more I learn about what I'm doing. I mean, in a sense, so every single day, understand that, and understand that if you're making a music track long, for example, you have to understand that anything that's long is a greater way to live life. I promise you every single day, focus upon the long road and focus upon understanding that you have to teach yourself everything. You have to teach yourself the broad aspect about life, but I understand that every single topic in the dictionary you must succeed in terms of Jesus Christ. I promise you every single day, focus upon understanding that there's so much more to do, or else there's so much more to communicate. I realize that now. You must be understanding that we're living in a new age now. I promise you there's so much more material that you have to understand that we have to do today. I promise you now, you have to understand that my mentors, I promise you they've been posting videos and everything, but guess what? I have so much time to understand that I only have to do I today. I promise you now that I only have to make sure that I'm giving that content much more than they are, and that's it. I promise you now, if I'm giving much more content than everybody else about something greater, you have to understand every single day I become greater, and then I understand every single day that all you have to do is focus on yourself and your career and what you love to do. So if you just focus on yourself and you just watch yourself all day long, if you just watch yourself all day long, you understand why you're successful, you understand why you can communicate, you understand why I do busking performances and I go around the world traveling and I go and do my life coaching everywhere, because I do it in 1 hour segments and 1 hour blocks, and then guess what, you upload it in the best HD and everything, and then understand why you can do it. Understand that first, and then understand that no matter what, that either way it's all a process. But I understand that no matter what, you must be able to afford the internet. So sometimes if you want to upload a 720 HD video, but the internet is 7 gigabytes to even upload that video, but then you gave $10 to gain 10 gigabytes of internet, I promise you, although you must understand that it never amounts for you to be able to do it that way. You have to go into the internet cafe or go somewhere where it's free Wi-Fi and then upload it through free Wi-Fi through the best HD. But then guess what, or is that if you're willing to wait 2 extra hours to upload a 7H, if you're willing to wait extra 2 hours to upload a 720 HD video, you must understand you never wait, but go and do what's better for you and upload your content at 480 pixels so that you can save 2 hours of your life going elsewhere, for example, because I understand either way that the longer you pronounce yourself in life, we never have to wait, the better for you. But I understand either way that eventually you're going to get to the 720 HD mark and then 1080 HD mark, but get yourself a professional camera or professional, let's say, video quality camera or something like that, where you have a camera of a phone. So I just use phone cameras only this time. I understand I never use those cameras for other types of gigs or anything, because I have my own cameras. I'm watching now, if you understand that no matter what, I use all my camera and all my videos with phones now, because I understand the phones have over 50 gig, they have over 50 megapixels of whatever I need, and I upload everything quickly online. So I understand either way that if you just go and have a nice beautiful business for yourself daily, you have to understand to make sure that your money and everything that you have is growing through the communicational skill daily. So focus on making sure you're doing your work daily and understanding what you're eating every single day. So focus on understanding that no matter what, that you go and do what you need to do every single day to succeed and prosper, and to go and do some fashion modeling and everything like I do, for example, and go check it out. I promise you every single day, focus upon understanding my Instagram is where I do my fashion modeling. I promise you now, if you understand my YouTube account, I just go and post as much as I can online so that I can succeed and so that everybody can succeed. But this is my practice. This is what I do. This is my nice, beautiful communicational tactic. And now I'm making music now as well. So my music is such an incredible music now I'm making in terms of trance music, and it's my dream come true. I promise you, you have to hear my track. It's amazing. I'm making this I Thou Shalt Not Kill. And you have to understand, I'm making this 10 Commandments. I'm making the 10 Commandments album of my beautiful album, which is 10 hours of symphonies in each track. So I have 10 tracks, which is 10 hours each. And now either way, that track is just repeating itself throughout the whole process, but I'm adding new elements into the tracks throughout the process, and it's amazing. You have to understand either way, you have to come to my festivals, you have to come to my events. You have to understand either way, I do charge you at the door, but guess what? Either way, you can afford it. I charge you. And either way, you must understand I have to charge so I can go and do my work so that I can enjoy my life. And either way, you must understand that no matter what, that if you come and see me, I'll give you nice, beautiful value. I'll give you my experience. I'll give you who I am every single day. You'll learn to understand who I am. You'll learn to appreciate me. You'll learn to understand why I do what I do. And then I understand either way that I will go and help you. I help you all the time because I know the word I only, and then I understand either way I'm growing. But if you're going and reading all this information, for example, but you only ever know the word I rushing out, why do you even have to read anymore? Why do you even have to read all the information of the world? Do you understand your word I? If you understand your word I only, I promise you that's it. I promise you everything else falls apart. Do you understand? Why do you even have to learn the other words, for example? But guess what? You have to learn everything. You have to understand either way. You have to read. You have to read regardless. You understand? But every single day, focus on understanding to update yourself about the world around you. Do it, because that's what Jesus Christ does. And if you understand every single day that Jesus Christ lives a long life, you understand? So every single day, focus upon understanding you have to live a long life. You have to understand that 33 for Jesus Christ is a long life, you understand? Because guess what? Or else that Jesus Christ never chose to live this world. I'm sure other people chose for him. You understand? Now, that's it. Now, if you understand that if people are trying to kill you or people are trying to do something against you, I promise you it's because it's working for you. And now you have to make sure that it's working for you in the first place so that you can do something prosperous and so that you can become abundant and have a richer lifestyle for yourself, because that's the whole point. But make sure you understand that you never ever disappoint yourself, but start doing your videos around hostels and around people so that they can hear you and so that you have a vibe that's very positive, and so that people can understand your way of life. And then understand either way that in the bedroom you can start pumping your music, you can start doing something around your house, which is your word I understand every single day. Focus upon understanding that now you have to be a flexible type of individual. Every single day you have to understand that I am now flexible more than ever. I left my biological dad 2 years ago. I went around Australia. Now I'm ready to travel the world. Now you have to understand that. Every single day. I'm focusing on living my life to the fullest. I'm currently in Port Macquarie. I need to go Coffs Harbour. I need to go to these places. But I understand either way that I have a business. I'm doing something much greater than everybody around me. And then that's how I really prosper. I prosper through different communicational tactics and different ways of speaking. But then I enjoy my life. And then you have to understand that, for example, with comedy, you can understand that you can send people messages in terms of online, and then send those messages to other people randomly, but it makes people laugh because it's so random, you understand? But you make sure that you make it funny, you understand? And then, for example, a way that you understand that you make anything funny is where you're saying something about the individual where you make them look so much, let's say, smaller than you, and it's so much tactic. I mean, it's a tactic where you understand that individual looks tiny to, they look tiny to what you said, you understand? So what you do is understand that if you go and do that, apparently it's the smartest way to make people laugh, because it's like you're making them smaller than you, but it's really, it comes off like that. It comes off like that, but it's really that we're all equal anyway. But it's every single day that you understand that no matter what, that the tactics I use to make comedy and to do anything is making sure that you have a nice, beautiful time, and that you have an entertainment process. Because when you're an entertainer, or when you're doing something where you're entertaining people in front of people, you are also making money in the process, because they're coming to give you money to sell out your arena so that you can give a show and so that you can give an experience of you. Now, if you do that daily, you have to understand that life is long. I have another 72 years to go. I've been for a lot. In my life. I understand either way, I'm learning through the process. I'm learning through the crowd around me. I'm learning about how to maneuver my way around Australia and around the world. So the more I do this, I realize the more I travel, and the more I use the money that I have to place it into better aspects of life, while disciplining myself to stay away from gratification and to stay away from certain people and certain aspects of life, so that I can do I and focus on I and never neglect I, and go and do what I need to do to groom myself, for example, or to have a shower when I need to have a shower, for example. You understand? Because I understand it. There's a time for everything, you understand? But what's amazing is you have to be growing throughout the process. You have to understand, I come here in the hostel and I do my nice, beautiful content everywhere now. I understand that before I was trying to get away from people to do my content as much as possible, but now I never care about the audio quality or anything in this life other than my word I make sure I just get the content out there. I just make sure that if you have construction in the background on my videos, but I say something and you hear it, I'm excellent, because you can still hear me. Do you understand? Who cares about the construction and the noise behind you and the freaking vehicles and the trucks behind you in your videos? Who cares? But as long as people can hear you, that's the whole deal. The whole deal is let them hear your words. You understand? I'm pretty sure that's how you make videos. You make videos for making sure that as long as people can see you, even if you post it on 480 HD in terms of 480 pixels and people can see your nice, beautiful face, that's it. As long as the video is never blurry, that's it. Now, if you have a blurry video, try to upload HD or pixel in terms of a video quality that makes you look like, for example, this video, where you understand that you can see me, but it's a 480 pixel video camera, where you understand that no matter what, it's the whole point. But understand that no matter what, that if you go uploading HD of 720 and 1080 and 4000 resolution camera and 50,000 resolution and 500 million resolution, man, what's it gonna do, man? 480 pixel camera in terms of 480 pixel HD is gonna give you the same type of vibe that the freaking 4000 KD resolution will. Because you can still see me, man. You can still see me, because that's the equality of life. You understand every single day that if your phone is dropping below 15% or something like that, you can pause the video as well. You have to understand you have to charge your technology sometimes. But I understand either way, that's what I'm doing now. I have to just go and charge my technology, but I pause the video quickly and then I resume. But look at how it all happens. I can say, however, guys, that it's very important that if you understand anything about life, that you reposition yourself in front of a camera where, for example, let's say you're doing, fashion modeling or a video. So never ever place this camera over there now, for example, although you can. Whereas now, if you understand that no matter what, that you go and just place your camera the way you want to, and you start doing your content in any form or regard, you have to understand it's different. But for example, let's say with fashion modeling, you can change your camera and selfie stick to place it in a different spot, and it never has to be in the same spot. But if you understand that, first now you have to swap the idea, and then you have to change also with the selfie stick. So if I put the selfie stick over here, you may see another background, but then I position myself in front of the camera so that you can see me again. I mean, in the sense, so if I'm doing fashion modeling and I do it from one angle, I mean, I may take 10 photos from that angle and then say, hey, I'll do 10 photos from this angle now. I understand? Or I'll do 10 angles from this angle, or maybe just this angle, and this angle, and this angle, and this angle. I mean, understand? And then let's go further out into the distance and do 10 photos from that angle and from this angle. I mean, understand? So if you're doing 10 photos each like that, you can do it. But understand that either way, that sometimes when you're doing 10 photos of a fashion modeling photo shoot, or sometimes 1 or 2, 3 or 5 photos may turn out poorly. So go do 30 photos. If you're posting 10 photos on Instagram of yourself, I mean, do 30 photos of yourself so that you can have 10 posts that is excellent into those posts of your Instagram. You understand? So do 30 of those photos each so that you can get 10 photos to put online. I understand? Because otherwise, you have to understand, you just have to make more sure that if you take 10 photos, but 4 or 5 turn out but half of them turn out poorly, I mean, guess what? I mean, then you can post only 5 photos since you only took 10 photos. I mean, so go and do 30 photos of yourself instead. If you're doing, let's say, 2 posts, for example, or let's say, for every type of nice, beautiful post, you have to understand you have to leave 10 photos at least or benchmarks to be able to go and post your other photos. So if you're doing 2 posts on Instagram, you do 30 photos of yourself. I mean, if you're doing 1 post of yourself on Instagram with 10 photos, or let's say 10 photos each, you must understand I do 10 photos each on my posts of Instagram. So I do, for every 10 posts, I do 20 photos. I mean, for every 2 posts, in terms of every 20 photos I post online, I make myself 40 photos. I mean, you understand? So for every 10 photos I post online, I make another 10. You understand? That's just extra. I mean, since I'm always making, per 1 post, I make 20 photos for myself in different angles and different backgrounds. And then I just make sure to stick to one background and I just keep going. You understand? But I post now 1 time a day into Instagram because I understand that what's important is understanding that I need time and space to do other aspects of life. But now, since I'm doing trance music, I promise you, it's such a blessing right now to be able to hear my music, and it's so much more that I'm learning from it quickly. I'm learning quickly about the automations and how can I really do this track much longer. But if you understand, that's the process of music production and life, that where you go really long in terms of making the track really long and prosperous, I promise you now, you're going to learn every single particle of how to do that. I realize that now it never stops. I promise you always learn something new about making one music track. I mean, understand? So if you understand that if you're making small music tracks, you'll learn a bit from that. I mean, guess what? I mean, that's it. But if you're making a long one music track, you learn everything in that. You learn everything from making one music track, or in terms of life, you learn that. You learn every single day that if you make one track 10 hours, you learn 10 hours of information in that track. But if you make 3-minute track or 3-minute soundtrack, you only ever learn 3 minutes of it. I mean, understand? I mean, that's a difference between making one track 10 hours or making one track 3 minutes. I'm probably now make one track 100 hours. I mean, make one track 50 million hours long. I mean, just one track. And you'll learn in one track everything you ever need in music production and life. I mean, if you make everything in your life, I mean, how does that relate to life? I mean, it relates to life like this. I mean, if you just go one life, I mean, you learn everything about that. I mean, never live a double life. I mean, never live a triple life. I mean, make sure you understand that your life must be long. And if you live a long life of 100 years, you learn 100 years of information. You understand? I mean, if you understand, for example, anybody who's dying earlier, you have to understand that they are learning that type of information. And that's it. I mean, you understand? So if somebody dies at 50, you have to understand they've only learned 50 years of information. I promise you it's the same deal. So no matter what, you must understand that all I'm saying is I'm making one music track or one life happen long. Is all I'm saying, and that's everything. Because I learn everything in that. I just want to show you guys very quickly. I do have a nice beautiful cable here, which is my nice beautiful Samsung charger. But I understand either way, you must understand this one here is very much of a steel quality. So there's a nice beautiful stainless steel around it. And then you have to understand it's 2 meters long. So I carry one of these nice beautiful, let's say, chargers for my technology so that I can do a better job for I. I only do it for I only ever do everything for my word I. I understand that if you do it for the technology, I mean, why are you doing it for the technology? I mean, do it for you instead of the technology. I mean, in a sense, that's why I say I do it for the word I. I mean, every single day, focus on understanding that this nice, beautiful 2-meter cable is something very, very special for me, because I understand that my portable speaker over here, which is a $420 speaker, I mean, in the back, it has one of those plug-in outputs as well. And then what I do is I push my trolley with a 2-meter cable, and then I go and do the scenery, for example, or I take photos or videos of the scenery, for example, and I understand either way that I can charge also my 2-meter cable while pushing my trolley with a 2-meter cable, so that my beautiful phone or technology can charge. But now these days, you must understand, I never go doing videos or photos of the scenery that I go to anymore, because that's all for I now. Now, what's amazing is I only do photos and videos of the scenery around me when I'm in the photo, and that's it, because that's the only time you must understand life. Life itself deals you the best aspects of life and cards and everything that you ever want, if you're understanding to never waste time. So I never waste time, because I understand I have to get myself in a position to do these videos, and I have to be moving, I have to be flexible. I have to understand that if I want to change my scenery or change my idea, I want to make sure that I'm around people who can help me grow. That's that. And I am the only one who can help myself grow, and that's it. I just want to be around my word I understand that when I go and do that daily, I make sure you understand that if you're getting an operation or something like that, you're just going to prosper. You must understand, I'm always prospering for everything I do. So I understand everything connects together, but every single day, focus on understanding that you have to look better. You have to have everything you ever want in life. You have to understand that no matter what, I look great, but I understand my legs, for example, is something that's really, really, let's say, strong. I just went walking 15 kilometers somewhere. I can walk up to 25 kilometers a day and no worries. I mean, I never, ever get tired in terms of my word I. I never fatigue after 25 kilometers of walking. I mean, in a sense, so I can walk. I have strong legs. So my legs are excellent. I mean, to work on my legs, yes, I still have to work on my legs. I have to walk around, but my legs are strong. I mean, my legs are strong. I mean, you understand? I mean, there's no need for me to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in terms of the big, let's say, the universe or the Mr. Universe, for example, and how big their legs are. I mean, do you understand? I mean that for me is too much. I mean, I understand that if as long as I can walk 30 kilometers a day and I never fatigue, that's all the strongness I need. I mean, you understand? I mean, how big do you want to be, man? I mean, in the sense, so no matter what, that for example, with myself now, I understand that if you want to tie down into a nice, beautiful personal training gig where you can go and boost your muscles every single day, I'd have a nice, beautiful workout for you. You must understand to work out your muscles first. You must understand every single day, work out your muscles in terms of your biceps and start doing push-ups first. Now, you have to realize that if you just do push-ups, you now can do triceps while you're doing your push-ups. You can also do your shoulders while you're doing push-ups. I mean, your shoulders are also getting a workout, and so are your triceps while you're doing push-ups. And now also your chest as well is doing a workout while you're doing push-ups. Now push-ups is also doing your bicep muscles. Now, you must understand push-ups is amazing. I just have to sneeze, guys, so that's what you can do in a video. You can just pause it whenever you want, just to sneeze or just to do something extra or just to make another video or whatever. But I understand every single day, focus on understanding that no matter what, that push-ups will work out your biceps and triceps. I mean, now triceps are right here, you understand? I mean, triceps are right here, for example, and then biceps, and then shoulders, and then chest, you understand? So that is all push-ups, you understand? And now the chin-ups is going to work out the arms. I mean, the total arms is what push-ups and chin-ups will work on. So chin-ups, in terms of chin-ups, will work out your back as well. So the chin-ups is the back. You work out your back muscles, you work out your shoulders and your triceps and your biceps. Now, if you understand that, now you may say, oh, but my muscles are weak, or you may say whatever in terms of the biceps. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Your bicep muscles have to be much bigger in order to get your chest bigger. Your bicep muscles must be the strongest muscle in your body. You understand that? Now, that's it. Your biceps have to be the strongest in your whole body, because your biceps is what makes your shoulders work. Your bicep muscles is what makes your shoulders work, and your triceps and your chest and your back. You understand? Because that's how it is. You have to make sure your biceps are so big while you're doing the push-ups, and that's it. I mean, if you understand that, and then walking, you just walk and run. I mean, that's it. I mean, there's your body. And then guess what? I mean, then we have the abs. Now, abs are simple and straightforward to do every single day. So if you just go somewhere and you just do 1,000 workouts a day in your abs, that's it. I mean, you already have the sexiest abs in the world. I mean, understand that? Now, every single day, you have to understand the same way you do push-ups is the same way you do abs. Do you understand that? Gosh, now, isn't that simple to make your body the best it can be? But what's the difference here in terms of why am I never ever doing abs workouts for myself? Because I understand I was fat. I was fat. I was 47 kilos heavier than this. I was 100 and I was 113 kilos. I was obese class 2. And then obese class 3 is even worse. I understand the way that anything more than obese class 2 is obese class 4 and 5. I mean, in the sense, so every single day, focus on saying I was over 31% body fat. You understand? I have around 14% body fat. I'm in fitness range at the moment, but I understand no matter what, you must understand that now, since I'm looking better and feeling greater and everything, I can breathe much more. I used to hate a lot of people, but I never hate anybody now. I understand, although, that what's important is I show you this. You must be able to train yourself to grow and to prosper and to really become abundant. But I understand either way that I switch over sometimes and I teach you from video to video about it all. I'm pretty sure that if you teach yourself how to get your nice, beautiful bicep muscles, and then you're getting much more prosperous and along the way, you must understand every single day that when I was from when I was from the 5 years of age mark to the age of, let's say, 26, I had a broken nose. I mean, in a sense, so I was a smoker too within that time, and I was a caffeine drinker and a drug addict as well. So I was drinking alcohol and doing drugs and cocaine and weed and tobacco and ecstasy pills, and you have to understand methamphetamine and amphetamine and all of that stuff. And I was using speed. And guess what? Or is that ice is what I was using. So you must understand that I am just somebody who never went further into it. You understand? I did go into that mark for a bit, and then I just went away from it because I can understand that life. I can understand that it was starting to ruin my teeth. I mean, it was starting to make me never sleep. I mean, it was starting to make me destroy myself because caffeine is something that never makes you sleep, and I just went away from it. But now I have the best lifestyle because I have no caffeine in my life, and I thank God, because I never eat chocolate either. I never eat anything that has cocoa powder in it. I never eat anything that has caffeine in it because it makes me like that. I mean, understand? I mean, it just makes me crave chocolate then. I mean, it just makes me crave coffee then because it's addictive, isn't it? So I stay away from cocoa powder because it's addictive. I stay away from the metaboloids of the caffeine and cocoa powder so I can go and do much greater in drinking soy milk, and raw sugar and also natural sugars is what I eat. So I understand that nutrition is very important. So if you're understanding fitness and anything in life, you must understand that if you want great strong legs, you must understand to just walk more. I mean, just walk more. I mean, you want great calf muscles, you already have great calf muscles in the way you work in terms of your walking. And now, if you just walk more, or should you have great calf muscles? And that's all the calf muscles you ever need, baby. Of now, I understand that they go to the gym and they start lifting their calf muscles, man. And their calf muscles is like some rock behind their leg. I mean, why do you need that for? Do you understand? I mean, why do you want a rock muscle like this behind your calf muscle, man? I mean, you understand? I mean, just go walk 50 kilometers a day, and you're going to grab the nice, beautiful calf muscle shape that you ever need in life. Gosh, that's it, man. Gosh, I mean, look at Jesus Christ. I mean, look at like Jesus Christ in muscles and everything like that, and then just try to develop yourself even more. You understand? But you never need a gym, man. You never need a gym to go do your calf muscles and to do thigh muscles, man. I mean, thighs, you want to work out your thighs and back thighs, you go walking. You go walking, and that's it. I mean, you can run if you want, but guess what? I just walk. I walk everywhere. I mean, understand? I walk everywhere. I mean, it's so nice and easy for me to walk. I never have to sweat either to get my calf muscles nice and sexy. I mean, understand? My calf muscles right now are so sexy, and other people are just, let's say, lying about calf muscles and Mr. Universe muscles and all that. I mean, they're lying. I mean, they're lying totally about all of it. I mean, understand? Because they can never keep that up. I mean, you can never keep up Mr. Universe look. I mean, understand? But yes, you can in a way of difference. You have to understand that the muscles of Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was 21, I mean, he's different now. You must understand why. Because he can never keep up the same regimen. I mean, he can never do that. I mean, you can never do that over time. Understand? I mean, he may be able to run 100 kilometers at 21, but at 100 years of age, you may be able to only run just 100 meters. You understand? I'm pretty sure there's a big difference. I mean, you understand? Because as you age, your physical body will get weaker. You understand? I promise you, because your bones will actually become much smaller throughout time. So what you need to understand, either way, that throughout time, you have to walk physically less. You have to understand it's less about physical work on the planet, and it's more about spiritual work. I'm doing spiritual work over here with you. I understand there's nothing physical about this work over here, other than just me doing this. I mean, that is just me free-flowing, baby. I understand? So either way, I understand that what's physical about this video is I'm moving my gestures of my nice beautiful signals over here, but I understand it is. I've also, although I'm moving my mouth, I'm just sitting in a physical position, but the sitting over here isn't doing nothing. But I understand either way that it's easy work, isn't it? But this video is going to help many people, and that's the whole point. But if you do more physical work without spiritual work, you then are teaching people less. I'm doing more spiritual work in this video than I am physical work. I mean, that's why I teach people for generations. But people love to go Uber driving, and they love to be an Uber driver. And now, because you're Uber driver, you then listen to radio, you understand? Because the radio is never going to, let's say, teach you anything, you understand? But I understand every single day that nothing will teach you anything in life except you. You understand? Of course, now, if you have anything on in terms of the radio or whatever, you must understand you have to read more. You have to read more anyway. But what's amazing is you have to stop doing Uber driving, and you have to realize Uber driving is manual work. I mean, it's just manual work. And then you pick up a driver, you pick up somebody, and then you drop them off. You pick up something. I mean, is that your day? I mean, is that all you want to do? I mean, is that all? I mean, is that it? I mean, guess what? I mean, there's something better for you to do to teach people about how Uber driving is on a YouTube video of 1 hour or 10 hours long, and teach them every single story that you ever had in that Uber driver remark. I mean, teach them all the stories about your warehousing work and about your office work every single day, and you're just going to become a star. I mean, is that simple? I mean, if you just talk about your day all day long, you just become a star very quickly. I mean, Uber drivers never want to do that. I mean, Uber drivers and warehouse workers and pickpackers and people who are in high school and people who are singers and people who are just randomly, who are just going around life, never just want to talk about their life. I realize they just want to talk about somebody else. I mean, why do you want to talk about something else? I mean, why do you want to talk about somebody else? I mean, why don't you talk about you? I mean, why don't you talk about you and then go around prospering on the internet right now and talking about your story, because there's nobody else like you. I mean, there's nobody else like you, so why don't you just understand that? I mean, why don't you just go and talk about your story and your experience every single day in the camera for 1 hour? I mean, isn't that simple? I mean, 3 hours of you in life is something worth watching. I mean, understand? And now, if you never believe that your story is something great, now, who else can convince it? I mean, who else can convince you of that except you? Unfortunately, you must understand that I'm always great. I say I'm great. I never want to be anybody else except I. I mean, understand? I'm probably now, because because I'm the word I only. I understand Jesus Christ. I understand the 10 Commandments of God. I understand how to be sure. But then when I go around the world, I pump my music now everywhere, but then I ask myself the question, I mean, how loud is the music? I speak over the music with my tones a bit. I understand, is it loud? I mean, is it loud? I mean, how loud is their tone to my tone over here? I mean, how much can I pump the music up a little bit more bit? I mean, is it loud? I mean, is it loud? I mean, how's the atmosphere around here? I mean, where else do I have to go to pump my music around here that I may get no complaints, for example? I mean, over there is a nice, beautiful spot, but I understand over there, nobody will complain about me. I understand? But I understand if I pump music around, I understand if I pump music around here, though, where people are sleeping, I realize that maybe somebody's sleeping during 4 o'clock in the daytime, for example. I understand. So if I just go over there, and if I just ask permission, and I say, hey, I mean, do you mind if I just pump music for a bit over here? I mean, do you understand? I mean, they may allow you to do it. And now, if they never allow you, you just go somewhere else. Abortion is so simple. Abortion, if I ask for sex from a woman, and I say, hey, I want to dominate your pussy, for example, and she says no, abortion, I just say I'll go somewhere else. I mean, you understand? Abortion, it's so simple, isn't it? Abortion, if I just say, hey, I mean, just like that, abortion, that's just the words I use, for example. But you must understand that it's just like that. Abortion, now, I use other words as well. I mean, it's nice. Abortion, it's nice, isn't it? When I ask, I mean, is it possible to dominate your pussy? I mean, it's nice. Abortion, it's a nice question. I mean, it's a question. I mean, questions are nice. I mean, in a sense, so every single day that the words I use is nice. I mean, every single word in a dictionary is nice, isn't it? Every single word in a dictionary is nice. I mean, isn't a pussy a nice thing? Isn't a genitals a nice thing? Everything's a nice thing, you understand? So every single day, focus on understanding that no matter what you're saying, you must understand that no matter what, if you ask for sex from somebody and they say no, I mean, guess what? I mean, I say, hey, I mean, I want you to toilet really quickly. I understand every single day. I want you to understand. I want to love you. And if you don't want to, I'll go somewhere else. Is that simple with you or what? I mean, guess what? You can ask the question. If you never ask the question, I mean, how do you expect to get what you want? I understand? Well, you need to ask them. Now, if you ask them, you're never raping them. You're never trying to demand it from them. But you say, hey, I mean, you're very attractive to me. I want to go and have you in the toilet. I mean, you able to be with me? I mean, guess what? I realize that if you understand that, that's how it is. That's a man. That's how it is. I mean, how much money do you want? I'll give you some money too if you want. I mean, guess what? I mean, try to sell them on it. I mean, try to give them some money. Do you want some money? I'll give you some money for 20 minutes or something if you want it. I mean, guess what? I mean, that's how it is. But I mean, that's how it is. So every single day, if you focus on understanding that if you want pleasure from other people, you have to go to them and you have to get the pleasure them. Understand? Watch now. If you're happy with yourself going around other people and just getting pleasure, I mean, guess what? You must understand to do something better. Also, you must go and change your circumstance. You must go and focus upon understanding that if you ask somebody for something, they have to say yes or no. Although if they say yes, it's your opportunity, and if they say no, you say next opportunity, because that's what no stands for. And guess what? That's it. Now, you never have to blame yourself for trying to get sex. You never have to blame yourself for anything other than just make sure you never blame yourself, but make sure you're taking responsibility for everything and just say, hey, I'm never blaming myself, but I have to take more responsibility for this situation, because I understand either way that I'm not at fault, but I want to regard myself as somebody who wants to understand to help that individual before it even happens from this point. I just want to be able to prevent that nice beautiful situation from happening again. And I understand either way that I never make excuses, but I'm making sure every single day I'm always growing myself. But if you want whatever you want, I mean, you can get it if you ask. Now, if you ask, you already have 50% of yes or no. So if you say, do you want to have sex? It's a yes or no. Now, if they say no, that's it. You just go somewhere else. You say why. You ask them why. I mean, why? I mean, it may never even be about you. I mean, you say, do you want to have sex later? I mean, do you want to have sex whenever you feel like it? I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day you're asking a question. I mean, there's nothing wrong about that. I mean, there's nothing right about that. I mean, it's just that you're just asking. You understand? You're asking for some nice, beautiful, loving time. You understand? So no matter what, that if you just go and embrace it every single day and you focus on your life, you have to understand delayed gratification is the way to go with Jesus Christ. So I understand it's the best way. I mean, you understand? So every single day, focus on understanding that if you have attractiveness with somebody and other guys are there with her, or other guys or other women are there with him, you must understand that if you want to approach her in front of them, you can talk to all of them, and you can talk to all of them at first, or you can just ask her the question or something and say, hey, I need you over here. I mean, are you able to come over here, for example? I just want to talk to you. But then you actually grab her away or him away from the crowd, and then now you can pop the question. You can say, will you marry me? I mean, you can say, hey, I mean, do you want to come around? I mean, do you want to come with me around the world? I just met you, but do you want to come around with me around the world? I mean, you can say, very nice. I mean, do you like Borat? I mean, do you understand who Borat is? Well, now, guess what? I mean, you can just enjoy it. Yes? And you just make sure you're just having fun. I mean, you can have a nice, beautiful accent. You can say, high five. I mean, understand? So just enjoy yourself. You understand? So every single day, focus upon understanding that whatever you want in life, you can achieve it if you help people to do more. Now, that's what Zig Ziglar says. Now, if you understand that, no matter what, I just go and really deliver the message of Zig Ziglar and everything in life, because I understand that no matter what, I hide nothing, but I have everything. So if you understand that, for example, masturbation and pornography and all that, you must understand that pornography is never harmful. Unfortunately, pornography is never going to harm you, because it's just images. You understand? And you have to understand that I can watch it. I can watch it if I want to. I mean, there's nothing stopping me to go to pornography now and watch somebody in terms of that. But I understand either way that it's just images. So images is something that you're reading. You're just reading what's happening around the world. Unfortunately, that's it. Unfortunately, that anything that's physical with you and hitting you physically is actually harming you. So if pornography is never doing that to you, and if it's never hitting you physically, then you must understand that whatever hits you physically is what hurts you, and never anything that's imagery. But if you understand that, for example, if you masturbate, for example, you must understand that eventually your body is going to get so weak. Your body is going to get so weak in terms of your physicality that you can never even masturbate anymore. I mean, do you understand? Because it never even feels worth it anymore. Because why? I mean, it's just too much work for you. It's just too much work for you to even masturbate anymore. I mean, why? Because your bones are so rigid and weak, and you just have no time to masturbate anymore. I mean, understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, that's how it is. I mean, understand? So eventually, if you're afraid or whatever of masturbation in terms of to quit masturbation or whatever, if you just understand that when you turn 80 years of age or 100 years of age, it comes to a stage when you have kids, you have a passion, you have a big dream, that masturbation just goes away. I mean, you may be trying to hustle yourself today and trying to say, hey, I mean, there's so much work today to do, and that you may want to masturbate or something. I mean, if you want to masturbate, but guess what? You must understand to delay gratification as much as possible, because that's the best way. But I understand every single day that eventually masturbation will pass you by. Unfortunately, masturbation will go away, but I understand every single day that your body will get so weak that you just never feel like masturbating anymore. I mean, doesn't it make sense? Unfortunately, it does. Roshi, do you believe a 150-year age person is going to go around masturbating? I mean, come on, man. I mean, what for? I mean, it just makes sense for them to just do something else now. I mean, you understand? Because guess what? I mean, it just fades away. I mean, the more productive you are in life, the less you masturbate. Roshi, it's just that simple. Roshi, those people who are having sex around are less productive. Yeah, I mean, do you understand? I mean, they have nothing to do other than have sex all day. I mean, they just chase sex and sex and sex and sex. I mean, sex is on their mind all the time. I mean, for me, I mean, I have no time for sex, man. I have no time for sex because I understand I'd rather travel with my music and my life coaching here, and I'd rather travel around the world teaching people and growing with it than doing anything else. So I'm 28 years of age, but I'm having the best lifestyle I've ever had in my life, and I never work a 9-to-5 job. I did work a 9-to-5 job before, but it's never the way for me. And you have to understand that you're going to have phases in life. You're going to go through all the phases. I mean, you're going to be poor. You're going to have poverty in your life. You're going to have no food. You're going to have no money. You're going to have food and money. You're going to have every single situation in the world. But I hope to God that you only have the 10 Commandments in your life. I mean, in a sense, so I understand that no matter what, that if you go to prison for the rest of your life, I'm pretty sure I never want you in prison. So I understand to follow the 10 Commandments of God, and then understand that's everything. I'm pretty sure that's everything you ever need. I've been to prison already. I understand that it's never the way to go, but it's a new experience. So I've been there for one night. I'm pretty sure now. I understand either the way that I did hit a woman, for example, but I was somebody who I was very unaware of it. I understand although that she did hit me first, and then I just reacted. I did react to it, and then I just went boom. I just went and I did hit her. I mean, you understand, because I was just traveling with my bike, and then she just comes and boom, just really knocked me out. I mean, understand, and then I just get back up and I just went boom. I understand, because I just was unaware of it. I mean, understand. I mean, what happened over here? I mean, guess what? I mean, that's how it is. But then realize that it's never the way to go. You never try to hit a woman. You never try to hit a man. I mean, it never matters what nationality you are. I mean, it matters how kind you are. I mean, if you're kinder and kinder and kinder, I mean, just never do it again. I mean, it's been already. I mean, it's already been over a year. I mean, I never hit a woman since then. I mean, you understand? So realize that I mean, that's the only time I really hit a woman in my 28 years of life. I mean, you understand? So, I mean, guess what? I mean, that's how it is. I mean, you understand? I never hit a woman like that in my life. I never tried to hit a woman. I never tried to hit people like that. I mean, this time I just really, really lost it completely. I just realized that if you understand to never lose yourself, but really, really keep honest with yourself and have nice body tones. I mean, you have to understand Novak Djokovic's body in terms of a man is what you need. I mean, that guy's body is something of a martial arts expert. I mean, you understand? I mean, that guy can really, really have a body. You understand? Because he's very flexible, and agility is something you need. But understand either way that if you understand that, for example, if you put two fighters together, I mean, one has strength, I mean, the other one has agility. I mean, the one that has agility wins. I mean, understand? I mean, why is that? Because I can punch you 100 times before you even hit me once. I mean, understand? I mean, agility is much more quick, and agility is the fastest way of the planet. I mean, understand? And now, if you have somebody who has stamina, but somebody who has strength, I mean, the person who has strength is going to win. You understand? Because, yes, I mean, stamina may give you the longevity or whatever, but guess what? I mean, the strength of the moments of what you need is strength wins over stamina, because strength is something that you need more now than the stamina. You understand? You need more strength now than ever before than the stamina, because the stamina comes with the strength. You understand? Now, if you understand that, for example, where you may have an individual who has strength and stamina, but one has agility, agility wins. I mean, understand? I mean, agility will win. So if you have an agility type body style, that's the best style. Now, what's an agility type body style? I mean, look at Novak Djokovic. I mean, look at Federer. I mean, look at, let's say, Nadal. These nice, beautiful tones like I have is a nice, beautiful way you go and see my agility style. I mean, look at me. I'm agility. I'm athletic. I'm agility. I mean, muscles and complete action. You understand? I mean, understand? But other people are more strength, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, 21. I mean, big, muscular guy, man. I outrun him. I understand that he's very big and strengthful and whatever. I mean, he can beat me in a arm wrestling competition no matter what. I mean, understand? But right now, you must understand that even today, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger at 70 can beat me in an arm wrestling competition. I mean, understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, it's true. Because eventually, you must understand that if you're doing anything in your life, you must understand to go and do much better. But I understand either way, that agility, I outrun. I can outrun him. I can out-quick him. I can talk faster than him. I can talk faster. I can do much faster. I can do much more videos than him. I'm agility. I mean, what's this video? I mean, this is a strength or agility in this video. I mean, this video is everything. I mean, this video is strength and also agility and also stamina. Because guess what? I mean, the stamina of this video is 59 minutes, for example. I mean, the stamina of this video right now is 49 minutes. I mean, understand? And then guess what? I mean, the strength of it is 49 minutes. And then agility is also 49 minutes. I mean, you get it? And the nutritional style of this video is 49 minutes. I mean, understand? So the whole habit and schedule of this video is what the duration of the video is. I mean, understand? But guess what? Whereas if you want faster agility, you have to understand, you have to get the nutrition required for yourself to have agility. I mean, so how do you lose 47 kilos and become a 70 kilo individual from 200 kilos? I mean, how you do it is nutrition and never running. You can never run your way to anything. I mean, understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, if you want to run somewhere, you run spiritually only. You never run physically to lose weight. You make sure that throughout the process of disciplining yourself to stay away from certain foods is how you lose all the weight and then get healthier and become much more agility-like. I mean, in a sense, so when I was fatter and when I was 113 kilos, I was more strength and stamina. I mean, understand? I was more strength than stamina back then. I was more strength. You understand? I was more power through. I understand? I can power through it, and the stamina is coming here along. But then I was eating massively. You understand? I was eating so much. I mean, that's what happens. I mean, if you're eating so much, it's because you're unaware that you're eating so much. I mean, if you're snoring and snoring and snoring, you have to understand that the only way that you can fix snoring is talk more. I mean, do you understand? Because anybody who's so loud and drinking alcohol and doing drugs around you is so much of a slow talker. And if they're so fat as well, I mean, it's because they talk slowly. You understand? I mean, anybody who's very fat is talking slowly. I mean, do you understand me, bro? I mean, by the time you even say those words, I've already said 50,000 words, man. I understand? So if you understand anything about life, that the overweight people and the obese people on the planet is never because of the nutrition, but it's because of the communication. You understand? That's why. Now, if you understand everything is communication, you can now understand how to get the stamina, you can now understand how to get the agility, you can understand how to get the strength and athletic performance and everything that you ever need. Because what is this video? It's peak performance. It's athletic agility. It's everything. Because why? I mean, I talk very fast. I mean, understand? So when I talk very fast, I do very fast. And that's agility. I mean, that's speed. I'm talking very fast, aren't I? But when I'm fast, that's agility. But it's agility when I'm very fast talker. I mean, understand? I mean, to be able to talk very fast is to be able to be agility. I mean, understand? So that's what I'm talking about. But it's also strength and it's also stamina as well. Because that's what you need to do every single day to focus upon spiritual work, which is this work. I mean, this work is spiritual work. I mean, this is going to teach you something about life and me and how I live my life in my word I, because I over me. I mean, why do I say that? Because I is much more important than me. I mean, I saying I love I, you. I mean, you have to, I'm pretty sure it's more I love I and you together to understand that either way, that when I love I love you. I mean, it's never me love you. I mean, I love you. You understand? I mean, it's more I love you than me love you. Now, if you understand I is the first word of God and everything, and that's why I say I over me. Now, if you understand no matter what, that if you have ants around you and you have something of, let's say, quality to give every single day, focus upon understanding to go and really report that there are termites around your house, or that there are, let's say, animals or non-human animals around you that are never meant to be there, for example. And now, guess what? I realize that they're always meant to be there. But I understand if you go and report, for example, and you say, hey, there are ants around your bedroom or whatever, now it's more pleasant that you do so. But what happens then is that people may kill it. I understand. But guess what? I realize that you never did though. I mean, you never did kill them. I mean, let other people kill the animals. I mean, you say, hey, I mean, there's a tiger in your room, man. I mean, guess what? I mean, they go and shoot the tiger, but it's never your responsibility, you understand? But guess what? I mean, it's just the way it is. But never, ever try to kill those ants or the termites or the tiger yourself, because it's never about violence. But let other people do it. You understand? I mean, let other people do it, because that's never your responsibility anymore. But if you want to have a better sleep, I mean, never sleep on a bed where there's full of spiders. I mean, go say to somebody, hey, you gave me a bedroom with full of spiders on it. I mean, do you believe I'm going to sleep with spiders today? I mean, in a sense, what you do is realize that they may go shine a nice, beautiful can of fire at the nice, beautiful spiders and kill all the spiders for you. But guess what? I mean, that's never your responsibility. So you go sleep on the bed if you want, where there used to be spiders. I mean, that's never your responsibility anymore. But if you understand to never kill, but when I was, let's say, for example, 8 years of age, I seen some ants on the floor and I started to step on them. I started to kill all these ants. I mean, isn't that cruel? Gosh, that's so cruel, isn't it? I see an ant, I just go boom. I see this one, and I started to kill all these ants on the floor. I mean, understand? I mean, why? I mean, it's so cruel. I mean, understand? I mean, that was so cruel of me. But guess what? I was so unaware. I was 8 years of age. You understand? I was 8 years of age. I was unaware of it. I mean, why are you playing a game like that? I mean, I was playing a game of killing ants. I mean, that's so stupid. I mean, so every single day, focus on understanding that even babies who are very young, like that, in terms of 8 years of age or 5 years of age, I mean, they run on the roads where there's a bus coming. I mean, I'm saying so stupid. I mean, so stupid, isn't it? I mean, guess what? I mean, you have to take care of them. You have to understand every single day to focus on understanding that if you try to do anything that's never violence in terms of hitting physically, you can do it. You can go grab your child and save them from the nice, beautiful bus if you can. Of course, it's much more willing that you understand that. But if somebody's trying to stab your wife or her family or whatever, you have to understand that as long as you feel that you can save yourself in the process, you can also make sure that you can go and save your kids and family, you understand? Because it's much more worthy for you. But if you understand that they may kill you, literally, I mean, never try to do anything then other than you. I mean, understand? So let's say if somebody's fighting you and somebody's trying to hit you and somebody's trying to cause you violence, I mean, guess what you do? You just let it be, and then just walk away. I mean, just walk away. I mean, that's the way. I mean, just let them hit you and just say, oh, thank you very much. I just move on. I mean, understand? Because that's a nice, beautiful persona. But if you go around talking or trying to hit them back because they hit you, I mean, now you look like a suki baby. I mean, now you look like a crybaby because they hit you. I mean, guess what? I mean, let them hit you. I mean, take a hit. I mean, it's never about how hard you hit, but how hard you can get hit and get back up. I mean, understand? And that's what Sylvester Stallone says. I said every single day that if you understand, you must let people hit you first. I mean, understand? I mean, never let them do anything other than you. You understand? Of course, that's it. Of course, now, if you understand how to really talk and influence people and do anything that you want to do today, you must understand to go and really pronounce yourself. And you never have to do a 1 hour video. You can do a 1 hour, 30-minute video. You have to be flexible about it. You have to understand every single day. You have to be flexible about what you're doing every single day. But if you understand now how to do nutrition and how to go and get your muscle body and everything, I've already told you how to do it. But I understand if you want to grow your hair, for example, you just make it grow, for example. So you can see my hair, for example. I want to braid my hair. I want to braid my hair like the Africans do. So I understand either way that my hair will be braiding like this. I understand either way that I just go and make a new haircut. I'll go do something very new, and then guess what? I may go bald, for example, but then I start growing my hair again, for example. You understand? I start growing my beard again. I was having a nice, beautiful rat's tail before, but I never, let's say, I never did anything with it other than cut it off. I said, although I love I'm pretty sure, although it's more that I did grow it, but then I did want to see how it looks, for example, but it's nothing, let's say something, I realize it's something, but I just want to do something different, you understand? I want to understand that if I shall ever grow a rat's tail over again, I understand how it looks like. I understand. Watch now, it's more how you have to go and cut everything on the sides over here, and then you have to cut the middle parts, and then you just have to make a little rat's tail, for example, come out from the chin. For example, I mean, if you want to do that, you can do it, but it's something new, for example. It's something new, but eventually you're going to cut it off if you want to. But I understand every single day that you can also braid your hair. You can put your hair all the way back and then tie it up, for example. You can tie it up and have a ponytail if you want, but I understand it's all up to you. You understand? But look different and make sure you're communicating more. Whereas now, if you're communicating more, I mean, look to do some videos along the day and make sure that you understand I'm very much more passionate because I can go and pump my music everywhere now. I can go do whatever I want to do because I have everything I ever need. But now it's more time for me to go and make these seminars around the world. I'm making seminars around the world. I'm doing life coaching events. I'm doing music events. I'm making music now, so I have this nice, beautiful track. I have to keep it going. So I'm making sure I'm learning in the process of doing everything, but I'm aware of how I'm aware. And now, because I'm doing that, I understand it's all communicational skills that everybody's talking about. And I understand that if you want to understand the power of now with Eckhart Tolle or any type of spiritual guru or anything in the world, you have to understand it's the words that you speak. I'm pretty sure that's that. Now, if you talk better with your words, I'm pretty sure that's life. Now you understand how to be richer. I mean, now you understand how to do everything. Because it's just talk better. I mean, understand? Now that's how you understand all the books of the world, which is talk better for yourself. I mean, that's it. Now, if you understand every single day that you can go throughout life and you can prosper with yourself now, and you can have any type of individual that you want in your life, you can go and grab them if you want. But guess what? I mean, I just let the woman come to me. I let them get me the drink. I make them do all the selling. You know, I mean, do you understand? Because you have to take out a rich man to a date. I mean, guess what? I mean, they're poor woman. And a rich woman has to do that for me too. I mean, that's that. I mean, you have to take a rich man out on a date. You have to take a rich man into bedroom. You have to take the rich man to have a kid. You have to sell me on that. I mean, you're the one that has to sell me. I never have to sell you. I never have to say, you want to have a kid with me? I mean, guess what? I mean, you can ask me for that. You can ask me. You can come with me if you want. I mean, I never come with you. You're saying I never come with you. I mean, you want to. I mean, guess what? I mean, whatever you ask, you shall receive. You understand? I give you what you ask for. You understand? If you want sex, I give you sex. Now, if, for example, I for some reason say no to you, you must understand it's because I pick I over you. Now I can say no. I can say no to you because I choose to say I. Love I more than you, baby. Understand? So every single day that if you want to achieve anything and you want to go and masturbate now and you want to go and masturbate to pornography and you want to go and do whatever you want to do, go and do it. Go and do it. But just make sure you're following the 10 Commandments. Follow Jesus Christ and say delay gratification. Understand? It's up to you. If you want to make sure that you go and copy other people and how they have sex, for example, guess what? It's up to you. It's up to you. But really understand what's happening around here. You must focus upon guiding yourself throughout life. You must understand every single day to focus upon lifting your life in a way that you're delaying gratification so that you can go and speak better and so that you can do better. But I understand every single day you must understand to go and do you. I just know the word I. But if you want to hold any information from other people, just understand the word I and you can do so. Now you have to understand that you are increasing your skills like this. If you understand that some words may be, let's say, pumping into your mind so that you can say them and speak them, but it may be rude, but I understand that nothing's rude unless you say so. I'll promise you all day if you understand that. Now every single day you must understand that no matter what, you must go and really lift your life. And now because nothing can really outpower you and now control you and really outdo you, you have the communicational skill to go up to anybody in front of people who are worse than yesterday or better than yesterday, and then guess what? Talk to everybody and let them be violent with you and just go be the most popular anyway. Isn't that simple? If you just go up to people and go have what you want with the woman you want and with the men you want, and you want something from them and you want to get something from them, you have to go and give something of yourself first to be able to get that. You have to give them maybe 12 hours of your life to get some sex from them, for example, or you have to give them maybe 2 hours of your life to find out some information about them, for example, or you maybe have to give them 1 year of your time to be able, just to be able to have sex with them, for example. So you have to move on with your life. What's much more important to you? Is it the sex with the woman that you find attractive, or is it making a life coaching video like this? What's much more important to you? Is it the sex with the man or woman, or is it your legacy? What is much more important? You have to pick. You have to pick your life. You have to understand that now I understand that no matter what, I make people sell me on what they need. You understand? I make sure that you understand. I never go to you, but if you want something from me, you can ask. That's it. That's that. Now, if you understand, I never try to go to women to try to get them. I get the woman to come to me, and that's it. I just call the escort. I call the escort. Hey, get your 5 wives over there. Bring them over here into my room, and we're going to have sex for 5 hours, for example. Understand? I can do that. They come into me. I give them the money. Understand? Because that's the fastest way to have sex today. And it's with escorts and with brothels, for example. If you go to the brothel and escorts, guess what happens? You call 10 of them into your room and you just get the cameraman and hire a cameraman, for example, and say, hey, be at my house at this time. And then guess what? You get them all up on the couch, for example, or whatever, and you just start having sex with all 10 of them while you're on video. Do you understand? It's very simple, isn't it? But that's how it is. Guess what? It's a business. You're giving them money. You're giving the woman money. You're giving the men money. You can even call men if you want. You can call men. There's many aspects of life that you can call to have sex with you. Now, the cameraman is charging you, and so is the woman that you're having sex with. Everything's a business. So, if you believe you're going to get that for free, you'll never get that for free. Now, if you get it for free, you're a legend. Now, you can get anything for free. But I understand every single day it's more about delaying gratification, because you have to understand that part. You have to understand pornography is a money business. Everything is a money business. I'm a money business. Everything you ever see is a money business. Without the money, in terms of the transaction of money, of giving, you have to understand nothing happens. That's why we have money in the world. That's why we have transactions. You give something, I receive something. That's the whole point. If you understand that, that's why the plastic money is going around. Understand? Because it's the giving and the taking. Understand? It's the giving and the receiving, and never the taking, but the receiving of it. Understand? And now, if I'm taking your time, I'm using your time to invest into you about what you're giving me. You understand? Now, if you understand, I never screw you over, but I'm never scamming people either. So I'm always understanding that if somebody is scamming me and you are unaware of it, or let's say if somebody is scamming you and you're unaware of it, you have nothing to do with that. You're just doing your best job to help people. But I understand every single day that if you become aware of it, versus now, you just make sure to never screw people over. You understand? Because that's what happened to me. I promise you, I was going on these online profiles and all that, and then guess what? I was some trader or some forex marketing guru or some type of binary options stock market trader or something comes up to me and says, hey, you give me this type of money and we'll make you this type of money in return. I give them $1,500, but they make me $50,000. I give them $2,000, but they make me $200,000. Unfortunately, these guys are scams, guys. So there's no such thing as that. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as anything that where you're giving people money online to make you more money. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as that. Understand? So understand that you can only ever make money online through making it physically in the world. Understand? So if you understand that you have to be in front of people to make money, and that's it. Unfortunately, if you want to be in front of people, you have to be entertaining them, you have to be leading them, you have to be script writing, you have to be acting, you have to be understanding that you have to do it in front of people. Unfortunately, that's that. Unfortunately, now, 9-to-5 job is making money because they're in front of people. Unfortunately, anybody who's in a 9-to-5 job today is making plastic money because they're in front of people. That's the rule of life. So I'm making money in this video spiritually. I'm making money through growth and through content that I'm creating for myself to be able to hold big events around myself so that I can make plastic money. So that's the whole point of doing YouTube videos and busking for free and going around places, public speaking and doing music DJing for free at parties and all this. And then when you're doing it for free, eventually you're going to make these big events around yourself. Now you start charging at the door because you're so good at what you do that now people have to give you money because you're just rich and prosperous. So I understand every single day that because I'm so much greater than ever before, I'm still getting to the point right now where I have to develop some more to be able to go and do music production at a big festival, for example. So I'm much more preparing now than ever before to be able to do a 10-hour version set or 10 hours of music play or entertainment in front of a big crowd of 50,000 people at a festival because I make the festival happen. And then I call the promoters and I say, hey, I want to charge $300 at your festival. I want to make it this date. What date can you give me? But I understand we're going to make money from it. We're going to perform. I'm somebody famous already. I understand, although every single day focus on understanding that they never care about how famous you are. As long as you can get 50,000 people in the dome to watch you doing something, I promise you, that's the whole deal. As long as you can do that, but now if you just create the event, but now 1 year from now, they are promoting events. They're already promoting you. Do you understand? But half the money you give them to make sure that they are promoting you, and then guess what? You get the other half from the money. Understand? So what happens is, I then just arrive. There's no online advertising that you have to do to get 50,000 people to show up to your event. They are already somebody in terms of that stadium or that event or that nightclub or that place or area is already hosting you for a certain period of time and advertising you in that area. They're doing the advertising for you. So what you do is you just call them and say, I want to make you money, guys. So what we do is we make an event around I today. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to do this performance for this long and we're going to split the difference and then I'll just walk away. But then what I do is every single year I can come back to you guys and we can start growing together because that's what I do. I only go back to grow. You understand? That's it. And now, if you understand why buskers, for example, or anybody in terms of where I was busking for free and I didn't get much attention. There was never much attention in busking because why? Now there was much attention in front of people. I had a lot of attention in front of people when I was busking, but that's the attention that I need to figure out a better way. But guess what happens? I'm boosting my confidence for 160 hours of the nice, beautiful busking performances, and guess what? Now I can public speak in front of people because I've done it for 160 hours. So either way, that's the benefit from that. That's what I gain from that. Understand? But attention online, I never gained the attention online from that. Unfortunately, I never gain attention by giving business cards to people. I never gain attention because that's the free way. The free way is saying, hey, if you give a free anything in life, they never value for free. They never value your business cards and what you give for free. They'll never value that. You understand? They'll never value you like that, but they value you when you price them. Now, if I say, hey, it's $10 to get this business card. Now, you can do that. You have to understand, I give you $10. I mean, guess what? I mean, that's something that you can do. I have business cards over here. I have business cards. But guess what? I realized that what's amazing is every single day, focus on understanding that when I show you my business cards now, you understand that no matter what, I shine and I say to somebody, hey, I have a business card over here. I understand that if I give it to you for free, you may not value this. I mean, you never value this when I give it to you for free. I mean, hey, have it, man. I mean, big deal. I understand? But I say, hey, $100. I mean, this is my tickets. I mean, my ticket is $100. You want it? I sell you my tickets for $100. You never want it? You never get it, man. You never get it. I mean, now you're going to value that. I mean, you want it. I mean, what's in it? I mean, you'll find out when you give me $100. I mean, that's it. I mean, now price your business cards and give it to them. I mean, $100 each, please. Understand? I mean, yeah, it's 10 cents. Yeah, I mean, 10 cents investment into everybody. I mean, guess what? I mean, they never appreciate you. I mean, they never appreciate you. But what I do gain in return by giving my business card to people is I gain something different from that. And each time I give my business card to people, I then learn how to sell myself much greater. I learn how to communicate much better about how to give my business cards for free. Understand? I learn how to communicate by giving my business cards for free to people. I learn new tactics and new skills by giving my business card to people. So if you're giving for free, you'll learn something about that. You'll learn. So you're always growing. But eventually, you say, hey, I mean, you want this business card, baby? I mean, $50. I mean, you can do it now. I can do it totally. So do I do it now? Abrosh, now is the time to do it. Abrosh, now I say, hey, Abrosh, if you want to find me online, you have to understand it's $50. I mean, how much can you give me over here? I mean, how much money do you have? I say $50. I mean, do you have $20? I mean, you have $10. I'll give it to you for $5. I mean, you have $5. I make sure you understand it's all for the word I never do it for the $5. I do it to gain your $5. I mean, you want to value this at $5? Abrosh, now it's worth $1,000, mate. Understand? I mean, I give it to you for $5. Understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, now you're going to value me. You understand? You're going to value me because you're going to give me something in return by giving a business card to somebody else to grab some money from them so that you can help your life succeed. I mean, that's the whole point of, let's say, doing anything in life is making sure you understand that this here is $1 million, man, to just see me. You understand? I mean, you have $1 million? I mean, you can get my business card, but that information here is going to help you, mate. I mean, understand? I mean, the information, I have 700 hours of content, mate. I mean, that's why I'm saying I mean, this business card is worth $1 million, mate. I mean, it's worth 10 million, mate. I mean, it's worth 50 billion. I mean, do you understand me? I have 700 hours of content to give you. I mean, yeah. I mean, guess what? I mean, you have an Instagram hero. You have a beautiful idea, mate, over here to be able to take action upon your life. And if you don't want this business card, mate, you'll never get it. I mean, as soon as you price them, I promise you, if you price them on your business card and they never want it, you just give it to them for free. I mean, is that simple? Now, what you do is you first price them. You price them first to give you some money. You try to sell them upon pricing them first. You then say, hey, I'm just kidding with you. I'm just joking with you. I mean, have the business card for free. Have it for free. I mean, you never want it. I mean, forget you then. I never care about you, man. I mean, you understand? I mean, give them the business card for free then. You understand? Because you'll learn something in the process of that. So what I do now is I understand that I may go to somebody and say, hey, are you interested in my business card? I mean, do you want it? I mean, it's $10. I mean, do you understand? I mean, now, guess what? I realized that you never go to people first. You never go to people first to do anything. But I understand every single day, let them come to you. And now, when they say for you, I mean, do you have a business card that I can get? I mean, guess what? You say, yeah, but it's worth $100. I mean, do you have $100 to have it? I mean, now, if they have $100 to give you, they're worth it. I mean, if they say no, you just say, how about $50? Do you have $50 to give me for the business card? I mean, now they say, oh, I mean, there's a $50 discount over here. I mean, guess what? I mean, do you have $50? You can give me $50 right now. I'll make cash in hand or whatever. I mean, guess what? I mean, if they have no $50, I mean, you have to understand they're poor. You understand? I mean, they're poor people. So what you do is you say, hey, I mean, you have $30. I mean, you have $30. I mean, you have no $30 in your pocket right now. You have $30 in your bank account. Or they may say no. So what happens is you say, do you have $20? You have $20, man? I mean, they may say no or yes, but guess what? I mean, you say, hey, I mean, forget it. Forget it. You can have it for free. You understand? Because I understand your bank account. I understand that your bank account has less than $10 in it. You understand? Brushing now, you're just much better, aren't you? You're just much better, but use it. I mean, use your business card as your asset to be able to sell people on money now. Understand? Because straight away, when you say, do you have $100 to have this? When they say no, it's because why? It's because they have no $100 in their bank account. You understand? That's why. But a rich man gives you $100 to see it. Rich people will give you what you ask for. But if you say, do you have $1,000 in your pocket, mate, to have this one? Now, if they're rich, they'll say, yeah, have it. Give me $1,000 and I'll give you my business card. Now, if they're really rich, they'll give you $1,000 to gain your business card. Is that simple? Because you're asking for it. You're asking for the money. You have to gain it. You have to gain it. If they have no money to give you, it's because they're poorer, man. You understand? So a rich man, if you're rich and I ask you for $1,000, do you give it? Of course you give it. How can you even say no to that? If I ask you for billions of dollars and you're rich, you give it. You give me $1,000. You give me what I asked for. You're rich already. You can afford it. You can afford it. Why not? Why are you stingy for? If you're stingy and you want to never give me the billions of dollars that I asked for, it's because you never have it. You have to give what I ask. I say, hey, do you have $1 trillion in your pocket to have my business card, man? You say, yeah. Guess what? You give it straight away. I ask you for it. Now if you say, hey, I like your business card, but I believe I have more information than you in life. You say, you really sure about that? Because guess what? I'm asking you for some money over here, but you seem to be dodging the question over here. You're challenging them right now to make sure that they're giving you some money. But guess what? Or else they may say, hey, you're a nice fellow over here, but understand either way that if you are charging for your content, I can get somewhere for free in terms of what you have. I never need you. So guess what you say? You say, you do need me, sir, because guess what you need? You need the power of Jesus Christ with you. Now, if you understand that individual says, hey, I already have Jesus Christ in my life, you say, hey, I understand you have Jesus Christ in your life, but you need more Jesus Christ. I understand? And now, guess what? They're going to say, oh, really? Guess what? I already have Jesus Christ anyway. You say, hey, but you need more Jesus Christ. You understand? Now there's a back and forth confrontation over here to say, hey, who's winning? Guess what? Or else either way, it's a standoff. It's a standoff. So nobody's winning and nobody's losing. It's just a communicational style that what's happening here is a trade-off of communicational skills and collaborative persuasion to learn more. And that's it. Now you guys are just going to walk away. You're never giving him the business card because he never wants it, but you are never receiving his money that you asked for. But what you did ask for in return, and what you both did gain from it, you gain some skills over here to be able to teach each other over here how to really sell yourself much better. That's it. So either way, that's how you live life. I'm pretty sure you live life now that when somebody if you come up to me now and I have a business card in my pocket, I print 100 of these babies, but I'll make $1,000 from it easily. You understand? $100 each. I have 100. I can make $100,000 easily with my business cards alone. So either way, now, if you come up to me and you want my business card, I say, do you have $100 to give me to have my business cards? Understand? I just look I look rich for asking. Do you understand? Because otherwise, I'll never give it to you. Guess what? I give it to you for free, regardless. I give you this for free, regardless of what you say. But I want to extract some money from you first before I give it to you. Understand? So what I do is I sell you upon the business card first. You understand? Now, if you understand that no matter what, it's for free. It's a free business card. So I understand either way that they may say, hey, but I see you online anyway. You say, hey, big deal. Here's a free business card. You understand? If they say that, hey, I can see your name already. But if you give them the business card and you say, hey, it's $100, man. They already see where you are already by your name tag and everything that you have. You understand? But if you understand either way that you never even show them the business card at first. You never even show them the business card. Never even try to show them this over here. Because if I put it in your face like this, of course, you're going to read the business card. And then you're going to say, you're funny, aren't you? I can see your business card already, man. I gave it to you for free anyway. Understand? I gave it to you for free. I gave you the business card. Go have it now. Understand? Because guess what? I mean, I learned something from that. I learned that, hey, they can see my business card. Understand? So what I do is I say, oh, I mean, but you will never ever do that to me again. So what I do is I say, I have a business card, man, but you have to give me $100 to get that. I mean, guess what? I mean, now they say, oh, I mean, where is it? I mean, show me. I mean, no. I mean, you give me the money first. I mean, give me the plastic money first, and I'll show you. Version now it's hidden. So let's say my business card is hidden from you right now, but say you're saying, hey, Danny, I mean, do you have a business card, man? I mean, I say, yeah, but you have to give me $100. I mean, guess what? I mean, where's the business card? I mean, I'm never showing you the business card first. I mean, guess what? I'm showing you something different. I understand, although I'm showing you everything anyway. I understand, although they're going to say, oh, you may say, you want me to give you $100 though? I'm pretty sure you give me $100, I'll show you my business card. You give me $100, Rosh, now, I mean, let's say you gave me $100. I mean, here's your business card, man. I mean, you understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, now you value my business card because you gave $100 for it. You value it at whatever price you gave, so you're going to value this forever. You gave me some money in return. You understand? So you're going to hold this somewhere. You're going to take a photo, and it's going to be with you forever, and you're going to follow me forever because you gave money for this one. Rosh, if I give it to you for free, you're going to say, ugh. I mean, who cares about this guy, man? I mean, who cares about that guy? I mean, he gave me a free business card, man. I mean, what a stupid idiot, man. I understand. I mean, get out of here, man. I understand? I mean, that's how they are when you give them free. I mean, when you give them the free life, I mean, they say, fuck off, man. I mean, they say, who's Jesus Christ, man? I mean, they never follow Jesus Christ, you understand? I mean, they have a free lifestyle. I'm pretty sure they have abundance in the world. I'm pretty sure they have richness, but they never care to follow Jesus Christ, man. I mean, they never follow. I mean, they never follow God, man. I mean, because why? I mean, because they're arrogant. I mean, they have a free lifestyle. I mean, they have a free life, and they never care about God. I mean, they never care about Jesus Christ. You understand? So those are the type of people that you have to sell them first, and you have to say, hey, I mean, if you want to see my business card before you even do anything, you say, hey, I'll give you whatever you want. But guess what? You say, I love I. I'm going to every single day focus upon understanding to sell people upon what you have every single day and say, hey, I mean, if you want to see my business card, it's $200, man. I mean, do you have $200? I mean, they say, no, I'm pretty sure you have no $200 in your bank account. I mean, you have $100. When you have $100, when you have $100 to see my business card, I'm pretty sure they may say yes or no. But if they say no, I'm pretty sure, guess what? I mean, if they have nothing to give you, I mean, guess what? You just give it to them for free. I'm pretty sure that's it. I mean, never hold back to give them anything, because what you do now is realize that since you've given them for free something, you're learning from it, and it's either way you're going to go giving something. So regardless of what they say in terms of yes or no, you're giving them the business card, understand? But you're going to try and make some money from that beforehand, understand? So every single day focus upon now that you never go up to people first for anything. Otherwise, now if you go up to people first, it's to do everything for free. Now, if I go up to a woman to speak to her for 10 hours, I mean, it's for free. You understand? And that free devotion is something I learned in the process of talking to her, where I boost my communicational skills to do better than her and everything. So that's why you go up to people. You go up to people to better yourself, and that's it. But let's say, no matter what, that you want to just do you, which is the best way, and it's the best way to sell yourself. So you never have to do anything for them. I mean, make them ask you the questions, and make them take you out, and make them get you dinner, and make them pay for everything. I mean, always. I mean, understand? You're just richer. I mean, make them give you to be with you. Understand? And that's how it is. So you never have to be the one giving, but you can be the one giving everything as well. I mean, it's either you let them give you everything, or you be the one giving them everything. I mean, what do you want? I mean, you have to pick a side. You understand? But it's much better for you to do the giving. You be the one to give first. You understand? Now, if you do that, now you can also understand that it's the best way. Now, if you just go up to the woman and you say, hey, or the man, and you say, this is what I'm giving you, and that's it. I mean, so you can do that. You always win. You always win this way. But if you just make them give you, you listen to me now, you win as well, because they're giving you. You understand? You are also winning. I mean, there's nothing in between. So you're winning regardless of life. You're winning regardless of whether you're giving or not. I mean, understand? I mean, you must be receiving, is what I'm saying. So the giving of letting them give you is how you have to receive. So if you're just receiving more from other people, you're winning. But But if you're giving much more to other people, you're winning as well. I mean, in a sense, so if you understand that, I mean, guess what? You're abundant and you're rich, and now you have everything. But try to extract some money from people before giving them the business card, because guess what? You have to learn how to sell yourself. You have to learn how to get some money about your life. I mean, if you just say, hey, I mean, before you even see my business card, man, I need some $50 from you. I need to get the $100 from you because it's a $100 business card and I have some information on it that's going to help you. I mean, what information? I mean, health information. I mean, Jesus Christ information. I mean, every kind of information you ever want. I mean, what do you want? I mean, now they are unaware about the idea that you're giving, but they really, really, let's say, have an enticement over here. I mean, they're really, really curious about your business card over here. So if they're asking you questions in return about the business card, you give them all the information about the business card here. You say, it's something that I can help you with. I mean, something that helps you grow. I mean, you get to see my business. You get to see my life. You get to understand how I live my life for the rest of your life. I mean, do you value that? I mean, do you want to give me $100 for that? I mean, if you never want to do that, I mean, you never have to, man. I mean, guess what? I mean, this is your only opportunity deal. I mean, this is the only time you're ever going to get this business card. So either way, that if you never ever do it right now, I mean, you'll never get another opportunity. I mean, understand? And guess what? Or else they're going to say, oh, I mean, you're hitting me big time over here, man. I mean, guess what? I mean, if you're rich, man, I mean, you're just going to give me the money right away. I mean, why you have to think about it? I mean, why you have to think about it? You understand? So if they hesitate to give you anything, it's because they have no money. You understand? I mean, they have no money to give you. I mean, I mean, the business. I mean, if I do that to a rich man, and the rich man comes up to me and says, "Hey, I mean, where's your business card, mate? I mean, like, you have to give me $1,000 before you get it, mate." I mean, the guy's gonna get into his pockets and gonna pull out $1,000 and throw it at you. I mean, give me a business card, man. I mean, give me a business card, man. I mean, here it is, man. I mean, have your business card. I mean, have your business card. I mean, so you gave me $1,000 for it. I mean, it's then because guess what? Whereas the rich man or the woman who is rich, I mean, they never hesitate to give you money. I mean, they just give you money because they can afford it. I mean, they want to see your idea, man. I mean, they want to understand you, man. I mean, in a sense, every single day, understand that those people you ask some money from and they hesitate, obviously they're poor. Obviously they're poor. Obviously, if they're asking more information about it, obviously they're poor already. You understand? Obviously they're poor. I mean, why are you asking me information? I mean, why do you never ever give me the money when I ask for it? I mean, if I ask you a question, but you're asking me a question in return, I mean, why are you hesitating to give me the money? I mean, if I ask for, let's say, for you to give me $1 million right now, and then you're asking, but how about the product and the product ranges, and what kind of bonuses do you get? I mean, guess what? I mean, you're still asking me questions over here. You are hesitating to give me the money. You're still hesitating over here because you're asking me questions in return. I mean, you understand? I mean, why are you asking me questions in return? I mean, just give me the money. I mean, you get it? I mean, why? I mean, because you have to understand that if you're asking me questions in return about anything of life before I even give you anything, you have to understand it's really that you give first and then I shall give you. You understand? Rosh, now, if I come up to you and I say, hey, where is your business card? You say, hey, I have $1,000 to give you. I mean, guess what? You give him $1,000 and isn't that nice and sweet? You understand? Because you follow through with what you say. I understand, although that every single time you pick a new skill, I understand every single time I say, hey, you, for example, I'm talking to you. I say, hey, do you have a business card? You say, it's $1,000. I say, hey, I give it to you right away. I mean, let me see it. I want to see it. Because that's what a rich man or woman does. I understand? I mean, that's how it is. I mean, there's nothing holding you back from giving the money. I mean, there's nothing holding me back from giving you the money. I just give you the money. I want to see your business card. I want to understand you. I mean, isn't that rich? I mean, that's rich. But if I say, hey, where is your business card? You're going to say, but it's $1,000. You're going to say it's $1,000 to get it. Now, but what is in the business card? I mean, what is in the business card? I mean, you're going to say, oh, but you're going to understand some health information in Jesus Christ. I mean, but what about them? I mean, what are you saying about them? I mean, guess what? I mean, why am I mean, that's hesitating, isn't it? I mean, before I even give you, I'm asking you for the business card, but then I'm asking for free information only, which means that if they're asking you for free information only, it means they have no money. I mean, they have no money. I understand? I mean, the answer is no already. Understand? But if you understand now that you have to bring the price down if they're asking you for free information, so what you do is you say, hey, I understand already that you're asking me a question in return about my business card, but you're asking me for free information. But let me say, instead of $1,000, I mean, do you have $200 to give me to get the business card? You then see that the individual may say, but what is in the business card? I mean, now it's a no already because they're asking a question already. So what you say is, you have $20, man. I mean, you have $20 to get the business card. I'll show you. I mean, and now they may fork out. I mean, they may fork out $20, but understand, if you name the first price $1,000, I mean, there's more of a chance they're going to say no. I mean, understand? But understand, it's because the people around you and they're middle class people. But if you're around middle class people, expect a no. I mean, just expect a no. I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day, focus on understanding that if you're around rich people and they ask you, and you are aware that they are millionaires, you say, hey man, I understand that you're a millionaire, but before you even get my business card, you have to give me $5,000 to get it. You try to price the millionaire or billionaire. You try to say, hey, it's $5,000 to get my business card, man. I mean, I have no time for you. Understand? You tell them. I mean, no matter. I mean, you may have $1 million in your pocket, but they have trillions of dollars. You may say, hey, I mean, I understand you're a trillionaire, man, but you need to give me $5,000 to get my business card. I mean, there's no bullshitting around here, man. I mean, guess what? Or else if they never want to give you some money, I mean, they have no money. I mean, they have no money to give you. Understand? I mean, even if they're a trillionaire, I mean, if they reject your offer, I mean, they have no money. Understand? You have to be able to give what is asked of you. You have to understand that if I ask you something, you have to give it to me. You have to give it. I promise you, if you ask somebody for sex, to gain some sex, I promise you, it's because they have no ability to give it to you. I mean, they have no ability to give you the sex. I mean, they just have no skills to do that for you. So what you do is you say, do you mind if I touch you? I mean, do you mind if I touch you then? I mean, do you have the ability for me to touch you? I mean, guess what? Or is that if they say no, I mean, it means they have no ability over here to even be touched by you. I mean, what you do now is you say, hey, I focus upon understanding that this is a new area of something of interest. So what I say, hey, I mean, do you have any words that I can really give you where you can come to me right now so that I can help you? I mean, guess what? I mean, if they have no skill set here, they'll say no. So anybody who says no is because they have no skills to say yes. I mean, understand? Now, if you understand that, you say then, I understand, although that you must understand now, you can just go touch her. You can just go and love them. Because why? I understand it's more that they have no skills to even say yes. I mean, because they have no skills to say yes, you can just go and touch them. I mean, understand? I mean, how are you feeling? I mean, you can touch her, you can touch him, and guess what? I mean, now you can even have sex with them. You understand? Because what happens here is understand that you have to ask a question here, but you have to ask yourself what to do. You have to understand that now, since they are never saying yes, it's already a yes. It's already a yes, but it just means that if they're saying no, it means for you to just go to them in silence because they have no skills to say yes. I mean, understand? It's that simple. I mean, they'll never say yes to you. I mean, they'll never say yes to you in terms of whatever you have in life. I mean, just go up to them and then just be the command. I mean, just be the command. I understand? So if you understand, for example, you have a woman or a man and you're asking them everything possible to have sex with you, but they never want to do it with you, you just go and have sex with them. I mean, is that simple? I mean, it's simple, isn't it? You may say, but it's rape. I mean, how is it rape? I mean, they have no ability to say yes. I mean, they have no ability to say yes. So just go and have sex with them. And say, I promise you, it makes sense. But if you have no ability to say yes, I just come up to you and I do what I want with you. I mean, isn't that simple? I mean, it's so simple, isn't it? Whereas now, if you understand that, whereas now, every single day, focus on understanding that you have to ask your way through. So if you're asking your way through, you say, hey, I mean, are you in a position to have sex right now? I mean, if they say no, I mean, guess what? You say, I mean, are you in a position for me to touch you? I mean, if they say no, you say, I mean, are you in a position for you to communicate to me? I mean, if they say no, I mean, guess what? You just say nothing else and just go and kiss them. I mean, is that simple? I mean, they have no ability to even communicate to you. I mean, guess what? I mean, just go and kiss them then. I mean, it's so simple, isn't it? I mean, if you have no communication skill with me, I just come and kiss you. I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, understand? I mean, now, if you understand that you go up to a man or woman and you say, hey, do you want some sex? I mean, and they say no, I mean, you say, do you want me to touch you? I mean, if they say no, I mean, do you want to be touched by my words? I mean, if they say no, you now realize you now can go up to them and do whatever you want with them. You have already attracted yourself whatever you want in those three questions. I understand? Because how? I realize now when I relate my wording to the words and you say no to the words, you're meaning yes. I've already convinced you that you said yes. I mean, how? I mean, why can you? I mean, how do you even say no to words? I mean, how can you say no to words? You can never say no to words. You can never say no because otherwise you die. I mean, since you're never even killing me in the first place, you're never trying to kill me, you're never trying to harm me, you're never trying to harm yourself, but you said no to words, I can just come up to you and I can do whatever I want with you now. I'm pretty sure it's that simple. I can bend you over, I can start having sex with you in front of everybody. I'm pretty sure it's that simple. You allow me to. I mean, now, if something happens where something in terms of life where she wakes up from her hypnotic behavior over here because they're hypnotized by you. I mean, they are awakened. I mean, if they awaken from this state, it's impossible. It's impossible. You have to understand. But if it happens, for example, I mean, if it happens, you must understand. You then say, I apologize. I'm just touching you. I'm just trying to kiss you. I'm just trying to help you. I'm just trying to help everybody here. I'm just trying to understand that you're just somebody so attractive. I just love you so much. I just love you. I will let you be. I mean, why? And then guess what? You try to hypnotize them again and you say, why are you so sexy? You say, why are you so sexy? Rosh, now, guess what? You say, how does it feel for me to touch you? I mean, does it feel good? I mean, guess what? I mean, I understand either way. I mean, now, I mean, what's up? I mean, what's up with you? I mean, why are you upset for? I mean, why? I mean, why? I mean, talk to me. I mean, talk to me. I mean, do you want me to touch you? I mean, why? I mean, why? I mean, do you understand? And then guess what? Or else now you say, you're right. I mean, I need you to understand either way that now, since you're asking her questions, you're caring about her for free or you're caring about them for free. But then you're saying, hey, I understand either way. Do you want to go and relax a bit? I mean, do you want to go somewhere? Now, if they say no, you say, why? I mean, why? I mean, get some feedback from them. I mean, why don't you want to do it? I mean, now, if they say something about you in terms of that you never look good or something, you say, how does it, I mean, you say, why is that? You say, why is that? You say, why again? You say, you try to eliminate that composure that she has or he has about you so that they can unlock themselves to be with you. I mean, then you say, hey, I need you to have sex with me. I need you to understand that. I need you to understand I'm attractive. I need you to see that. I need you to understand every single day I need to be with you. Although that no matter what you do, you have to understand I'm just going to try to hypnotize you. I mean, do you understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, she says, what are you on about? Or as if he or she says, what are you on about? I mean, guess what? And you just say, I love you. And guess what? You can go for the kiss again. You can go for the kiss again over here because they're asking you a question. So if they're asking you a question, you can go and kiss them right now. I mean, you can go and kiss them right now if they're asking you a question. You understand? I mean, they're already hypnotized by you. I mean, they're asking you about something, so you can go and kiss them. But if you feel afraid to do that, it's because you're unaware of the process of communication. So I understand every single day that if you're afraid to approach people to have sex with them, it's because you're afraid of something in your life. I mean, it's because of something in your life that's really traumatized you in a way that you have to understand it's about your communicational skill. So what you have to do is you have to talk about it in videos and videos and videos, and then you have to ask yourself a question about how to plan across making sure that you can get what you want very fast and effectively, where you can go and speak to somebody and have them within a minute in a toilet or wherever you want. Understand? So it's very quick and effective for you to understand that if you want to go and achieve big success, you have to ask them questions and ask them more than one question, or drop down the price of what you're asking for so that they can say yes. I mean, if you have to understand, if you understand I price you $1,000 and I say it's my business card, that's $1,000, and you say no, I say $500. You say no, I say $200. You say no, I say $100. I say, you have $100? I mean, what's happening? I have some $100, man. I mean, you can give me $100, man. I mean, you can give me $100. I'll give it to you. I mean, if they have no $100, I mean, you have $50, man. Oh, I mean, guess what? I mean, they may have some $100. I mean, you have to hit the point of them saying yes. So they may say no to the point of the $20 voucher. So when you say, I mean, do you have $20? I mean, they may say yes to $20. I mean, some people may say yes to $1,000. I mean, some people may say yes to $500. I mean, you must understand that everybody is different, but when you bring the numbers down and down and down, eventually somebody will say yes to a package that they can afford. So if you bring everybody who's poor together and then some rich people together, you then go and say, hey, I mean, my package over here is $10,000. You can go to the back of the nice beautiful aisle and get it for yourself. But I understand, although that because you're not standing up right now, I understand it's because you have no money. I'm not sure, although I dropped the half price right now. I mean, $5,000 to get the next package down. Or you guys can go up and sit and see the people at the behind desk or whatever. But then I understand the way you guys are still around. So let's say I drop down to $2,500. So somebody's going to stand up to give you the $2,500. You understand? Because other people will give it to you. I mean, one individual is going to give you 10,000 because they can afford it. I mean, the other one's going to give you 5,000. I mean, the other one's going to give you 2,500. I mean, if nobody gives you 2,500, or it's because they never have it, so you drop it down to $1,000. Actually, guess what? If none of them give it to you, you drop it down to $500. Or if none of them have it again, you drop it down to $200. Actually, now they all stand up and give it to you. Actually, all stand up and give you $200 at least. Actually, they'll give you $200 because that's what they can afford. Understand? So when you can afford something to give to somebody, you can just understand that. You have to understand that now, since they may be, let's say, ridiculous about you, or let's say, if they are arrogant about you, you say, why are you arrogant? I mean, why are you doing this? I mean, you have to understand to open them up about it, and then understand if they look at you negatively, you say, why are you looking at me negatively? I'm not sure if they're understanding that you're very attractive, you say, do you want to kiss? I mean, if they say no, I mean, do you want me to touch you? I mean, if they say no, I mean, do you want my words to touch you? I mean, guess what? Or else if they say no again, you just go and touch her and start kissing her and do whatever you want in terms of the man or woman. You understand? Because, I mean, how can you say no to words? I mean, that's my process. My first process in terms of communication is if you just go to the words, do you want my words to touch you? Now, guess what? I mean, it's a trick question over here. So guess what? Now, she may say yes. I mean, now, if she says yes, I mean, guess what? You say, do you want to give me some sex then? I mean, guess what? Or now, if she says no, I mean, she can say no here. Or now, it's more how it is. I mean, now you're leading her into the question. And now, either way, she can say yes or no. But if she says no or yes, or he says no or yes, you then say, hey, I understand although, but do you want my words to touch you? I mean, now, she says yes or no. Over here. I mean, whatever happens, you win. I mean, guess what? I mean, if she says yes to your words, I mean, guess what? She also says yes to the previous one in terms of the previous question as well. So if I say, do you want to have sex with me? But you say no, but the next question I ask you, and you say yes, actually it means that you want it from me. I mean, it means that you actually want sex from me. I mean, understand? So if you ask them a nice, beautiful question of, let's say, do you want to have sex with me? And they say no. I mean, do you have beautiful eyes? I mean, and they say yes. I'm actually now go have sex with them. I mean, is that simple? I mean, guess what? I mean, just go and kiss her right now. I mean, go and kiss them right now because they say yes to you. I mean, they say yes to you. Or that's that. I mean, understand? Obviously, when it's a no, you back away. You back away when it's a no, you back away. But I understand if somebody comes to see you, you have to understand that it's more, you can ask them any type of question, but if you're trying to get away from the woman or man that they're with, you have to understand it's more, you just ask them a question like this and you say, I mean, do you find me attractive? I mean, she may say yes or no, but she may say yes or no, or he may say yes or no because they came to see you. I mean, do you find me? I mean, guess what? Or now, if you understand, if you ask them questions about, let's say, getting them away from the man or woman that they are right there, in terms of they're right there with you, in terms of they're right there with you, understand that you never be afraid of it, but you say, I mean, do you mind if I grab your wife today and just grab her to go somewhere in terms of the restaurant? I have to talk to her. I mean, he may ask or she may ask why. I mean, you say, hey, because I understand the way I have to give her something. I mean, it's very personal. And you have to understand to grab it personally. You have to make it personal. And you have to uncover it. And you have to be talking about it in a different way that it never becomes obvious that you are trying to get with their spouse or something like that. And then guess what? Or is that the woman will look at the man and the man will say, you can go if you want. But he has to say, he has to say for her, or she has to say for that spouse or his spouse to go with you to do something. You understand? Now, guess what? I realize now, if they never do that for you, now you say why? Why don't you allow your wife to come with me? I mean, why? I mean, guess what? Or now, either way, they may say because you did something or whatever. I mean, you say, but I have no, let's say, compulsion to be with your wife in a sexual way. So I understand either way, it's more like that. You understand? I mean, that's why they're saying no to you. I mean, they're very controlling. So I understand either way that if they have any arguments over here, you say why. Eventually, although you have to ask why, and then you say what is happening. I understand. Although you just go to yourself and say, I understand. Although that I never ever try to touch your wife, for example. I mean, you say, I mean, if I try to touch your husband or wife here in this situation, I mean, I never try to do that. You understand? Eventually, although you're honest, you're honest over here. I mean, guess what? I mean, you're trying to bring them down to a yes over here. But I understand. I mean, either way, if they try to say no again, eventually now you say why. You say, I never want to touch your wife. I never want to. Eventually, if they believe you that you are something suspect because of how you are, you say, I'm just who I am. I have nothing against you. I understand. I'll brush it every single day. Now, they may say yes. Brush it. Now, if you have the spouse of their wife or husband with you at a restaurant, you now can say, hey, I mean, do you want to have sex? I mean, it's that simple. I mean, do you want to have sex with me? I mean, guess what? I mean, they may say no or yes. I mean, guess what? You say, how about my words? I mean, do my words happen to, let's say, connect with you? I mean, if they say yes, Russian now, guess what? I mean, now you have to understand it's different. Russian now it's different. I mean, now if you go and kiss her right now, you have to understand it's more you focus on yourself. I mean, understand? Because it's different. I mean, now you have to understand you have to try to attract them to kiss you. You have to try to attract them to get away from the other individual. But you never try to, let's say, have sex with them or try to touch them or try to do anything with them because they have somebody. You understand? So what you do is you say, I mean, how does it feel to have a boyfriend where you have to ask some questions about their life, but then you have to understand either way you're going to try to attract them to have sex with you in a way that they chose to do it and never because of you. Understand? So you have to sell them upon that, and that's why they're with you because you're doing that. Although then you're going to say, hey, I understand you, but how does it feel to be with your spouse, and what do you believe about them? I mean, guess what? I mean, that's the first question, but then you say, hey, I mean, if you want to get them, you have to understand to make them say more yeses over here. Now, because they say more yeses, there's more of a chance for you to get with them. So what happens is you have to attract them in a way that you're asking them questions to do so. And then once you ask them more enough questions that relates to what exactly you need from them, now you have to understand that they may say yes or no, but then you have to get to the yes over here. You have to get to the yes. So if I ask you so many questions and I get to the yes, you're coming with me because you chose to. You chose to. You understand? So either way, I understand that it's the case. So that's how easy it is. I promise you, it's very easy to get somebody's spouse or husband or wife in your bedroom because they chose to do that for you. Now, every single day, you just ask questions, for example, and you say, how does it feel to be with me behind your back in terms of behind your man's back or woman's back? I mean, guess what? I mean, they may say this or that. I mean, I understand, although, you have to ask them yes or no questions. So when you're asking them yes or no questions, you have to unlock a yes. I mean, would you be willing to be with me behind your would you be willing to be with me behind your husband's back? I'm now, if they say no, you say why? You say why? I'm now, no matter what, I mean, they may say because you are arrogant or you never ever look at them and how they're together or whatever. You say, I appreciate all of you, but I understand I'm never arrogant. I understand either way you say that. And then you say, I understand that no matter what, it's because you ask him another question here and you say, but how does it feel for you to be with me right now in terms of what do you need from me right now to be able to give you this nice, beautiful question? But you have to unlock that nice, beautiful yes or no question. You have to unlock the beautiful yes or no pattern over here to be able to ask them those questions so that they can say yes or no to you. Now that's what it is. So I'm becoming much more aware about everything. So when you understand every single day, then when you go and really teach yourself and you say, I mean, you just have to ask, do you like me? You say, do you like me? Now, because they say, I mean, now if they say yes over here, you have to understand now she chose for you to get with her. I mean, they're saying because they're saying yes. So if they say yes to you and they have a spouse, now what happens here is you have to allow her to attract you. So what happens here is you have to understand that once they say yes to you, it's more how you now have to go to her and you have to kiss her. You have to kiss her. Now, if you understand that, it's because they chose her. Now, how does that work? Now, if they come to kiss you physically, you win. But it can happen. Or else it can happen. But if you want to try to attract that to happen, it's more the yes. If you understand, if you want to have somebody else to physically, let's say, have sex with you and only sex with you, you have to make them say yes to you. I mean, it's possible for somebody to travel around the world to come and see you because they said yes to you. Understand? I mean, it's possible for everybody to come and see you who's online today because they say yes to you. Unfortunately, now, if you understand that if they say yes to you, regardless of who they're with, you have to go to them. You have to go to them and you have to kiss them. And now, if you understand that now, since you understand that they have somebody, but guess what? Or is that they are cheating over here? I mean, are they really? I mean, yes, because guess what happens over here? That if they are saying yes to you about having sex with you, I mean, guess what? You just go and kiss it. You just go and kiss them, don't you? I mean, if you say, I mean, guess what? I mean, if somebody over here has a wife or husband, for example, and we sit down in a restaurant, and they have they have a wife, for example, or a husband, and I say, hey, I mean, do you want to kiss me behind their back? And they say yes. I mean, guess what? You just go and kiss her or her. I mean, you go kiss them. I mean, you understand? Because that's what we're looking for. I understand. So if they say yes to you and your answers and your questions and all of that, I mean, you say, hey, I mean, I understand you have a boyfriend, but do you want to come back to my house so I can have sex with you? I mean, and they say yes. You just go and kiss them. You go and kiss them and say, you start touching them, really. You start touching them, and then guess what? You start really, really enabling yourself to do your life much better, and then just go quickly. I mean, go quickly. I mean, get the Uber really quickly and start really kissing. And you never have to kiss. You never have to kiss in the Uber. You never have to kiss in the taxi. You never have to kiss at the restaurant. You never even have to touch her at the restaurant. You never have to touch them at the restaurant. You understand? You just say, come with me. You just come. I mean, let's go to the toilet. I mean, let's go over here. I mean, that's how it is. I mean, I understand every single day. Focus upon understanding that I'm learning about how I am, but I understand that it sounds rude, but it's just honest. I'm pretty sure it's honest in terms of the honesty of what I said. I mean, if I say let's go to the toilet, I mean, what do I really mean? I mean, I just mean let's go to the toilet. I'm pretty sure, although you must understand every single day, I'm never rude about this. I'm pretty sure it's just making sure they understand that you can always grab other people's spouses and other people's anything if they allow you to. I'm pretty sure. I mean, do you understand? I'm pretty sure if I go anywhere around life, I'm pretty sure if you go anywhere, I'm pretty sure if you go anywhere around life, and they say yes to you, you just go to them, and you kiss them, and you do it with them. I mean, never try to do anything other than you. But then, if you want them to touch you, you have to ask for that. You have to understand that you have to get them to drive you to the taxi and to get you to do all that and to make you the man or the woman of your life. You know what I'm saying? So what you do is you have to ask for it. You say, you have to take me on the taxi drive. You have to take me on a dinner. You have to have sex with me. You have to understand that no matter what, you have to come to me. You have to sit on my lap because I'm the man over here. I'm the woman over here. You have to sit on my lap over here. Understand? So I'm richer than you. I'm richer than you. I have more value than you. So you have to come over here. So either way, you're the one asking to receive them over here. So if you understand that if you talk to people this way, you have to understand that you look attractive as well. You can speak from the giving side and you can do the giving or you can do the receiving. And it's both sales tactics. So what you do is realize that, let's say, for example, a husband or a wife is together, but you want the wife or husband. And then what you do is you say, from the receiving aspect of life, you have to understand from this point, you're making them come up to you. So you have to understand that you have to ask the questions for them to do that. I mean, would you be willing to come with me on the drink? I mean, would you be willing to do this with me? I mean, how does it feel? I mean, do you want to come with me over here? So anything that's a question is a sales remark to open up the yes. Now, if you understand that's from the receiving end, and it's also from the giving end. So anyway, now that you're still aware, so I understand if you want anything really, really quickly, you can achieve it as long as you make them say yes. So I understand it's just making them say yes the first time, and then you have to go kiss them. Now, it's that simple. Now, if you're afraid of rape, or let's say afraid of somebody criticizing or putting you in jail because you are kissing or because you are doing something with somebody else, I mean, it's because other people have told you never to do it, and it's because you value other people more than you. I mean, unfortunately, that's what it is. Now, if you understand that, if you understand to never be afraid of other people and to never be afraid of kissing other people and to never be afraid of having sex with other people, I mean, you then understand what I mean. I mean, if other people have put fear into you where you are never going up to other people because other people never want you to, I mean, guess what? I mean, it's because you love them more than you. I mean, it's because you treasure their words more than your words. I understand? So you have to understand to treasure your words only, and that's the only way that you can ever get anything. But if you treasure other people more than you then never will get the lifestyle. I understand? I mean, every single day focus on understanding that as soon as it's a yes, I mean, guess what? I mean, what are some signs that other people do love you? Now, if they are never complaining about you, I mean, they love you. I mean, if they complain about you the first time, unfortunately now, if you just go and do what they want you to do, unfortunately they love you again. Unfortunately, if you understand that if you convince them of your music over here and you say, hey, it's my music though, I mean, now you have already told yourself that you value yourself more than them. So what you do is understand that if you stop your music for other people, you have to understand that it's because other people are trying to block you over here and they're trying to tell you what to do. I mean, guess what? I mean, understand either way that if you realize that complaints come in and they want you to do whatever it is that they want you to do, you never do what they want you to do, but understand either way that now you're breaking through the nice, beautiful, you're breaking through the patterns of life, and you're understanding every single day that what you're going to do is when other people complain about you and what you're doing, you keep doing it. You keep doing it. But then guess what? You learn from the situation and you learn why they are complaining about you. And then guess what? You move on. I'm pretty sure it's that simple. So if I pump up my music over here, but somebody's sleeping and they say, hey, I'm sleeping over here. I say, hey, I'm pumping my music over here. I mean, what? I mean, now if the hostel comes up to you and complains about you and says, hey, I mean, we have customers sleeping over here. You say, hey, I'm pumping music over here. I'm pumping music over here. I gave money to be here just as much as the customer. I deserve to pump my music. Understand? I deserve it. I mean, guess what? I mean, they may ask you to leave, but guess what? You're telling them now that I deserve to be here regardless of what you say. I mean, in a sense of what you do is realize that if they complain and you leave, you just lost out. You're the one that lost out. But guess what? Whereas if they never want to take on board your money or whatever, I mean, guess what you do? You just leave. You just leave. But guess what? You're honest. You're honest. If you're trying to fight complainers and if you're trying to argue with complainers, I mean, never try to waste your time around them. But I understand either way that if you are around complainers and people who are complaining about you, you never do what they complain about. I mean, if they want you to stop your music and to stop your content, I mean, never try to do what they're doing. I mean, never try to do what they want you to do. I mean, I went to the park before and I was pumping my music and DJing and I was so happy. And then some woman says, shut your music up. I mean, turn it off. I mean, guess what? I just turned off the music. I mean, isn't that lame? I mean, isn't that sad? I was like that and I just went away. I even stopped my passion for her. I mean, why? I mean, because she told me to. I mean, what for? I mean, that's stupid, isn't it? I mean, you say fuck off, and guess what? You just fucking keep pumping your music. You understand? I mean, that's simple. I mean, it's a free public area. I understand. I mean, guess what? You can say whatever you want, but I understand either way. My fuck off to her is say, I'm pumping my music over here. I mean, guess what? I mean, get lost. I mean, understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, that's nice, isn't it? So if you understand that now, you're gaining power, that when people complain about you, you never do what they complain about. I mean, now, if they never want to accept you at the place, I mean, guess what you do? You just leave. You just leave. Or else if they never even want to receive your money, I mean, guess what? I mean, what you can do is you can call the police. You can call the police and say, this company over here never wants to receive my money. I mean, now, guess what's going to happen? I mean, they are straight away going to accept you. I mean, they're straight away going to accept you. So what's going to happen is the police is going to come to the place and going to see what is actually happening around here. And then guess what? You're going to problem solve with them. And you're going to say, hey, I'm just here to give them some money. But they're going to say, hey, this guy said something about my husband. I mean, he said something about my wife or my boyfriend. And we don't like him. I mean, big deal. I mean, what are the police going to say? I mean, come on. I mean, give it a rest. I mean, give it a rest. I mean, let it go. Understand? I mean, guess what the police is going to say? I mean, are you happy to be here with these people? You can say, yeah, I can be here with these people. No worries. I mean, I'm happy with this. I mean, guess what? I mean, if they don't want you to be there, or if they ask them and they say no, or now you win. You win. I mean, guess what? I mean, in front of the police, or now the police over here is calling them suspect. Or the police over here is calling them suspect. Unfortunately, they're suspect around here because they never accept you, but you're accepting to be here and you're accepting to grow and everything, but they never want you. I mean, now the police is going to ask them why. I mean, why don't you want this fellow over here? I mean, the guy's more than willing to be here at this accommodation center. I mean, in a sense, so what you do is realize, you just hear the conversation out and just realize, I mean, they're going to come to a conclusion to say yes to you eventually. And then guess what? You just go about your life. I mean, now it comes to that point. I mean, it comes to the point where you have to call the police to say, hey, I'm at this accommodation center. It's all I can afford. I mean, are you able to come down to the accommodation center to speak to these people for me so that I can get some rest tonight and so I can sleep somewhere? Because I understand that they're complaining about me and I just want you to come and resolve my problems over here so that I have somewhere to sleep. I mean, that's simple, isn't it? Well, the police is going to come and going to say, where are they? Well, it's over here. I mean, you just say, I brought the coppers over here just so we can problem solve around who's complaining about me and why, because the police are going to find out everything now. I mean, that's it. I mean, let's bring it to the spotlight, totally. I mean, let's bring the coppers over here to ask, why are you complaining about me, and what exactly am I doing wrong around here? I mean, what am I doing wrong? I mean, why am I so wrong? I'm never wrong. I'm never right. I mean, why are you complaining? I mean, tell the police. I mean, why are you upset about me? I mean, it's because the police is over here. I'm bringing the police so they can take me to jail, so that you can understand. I want them to take me to jail. You understand? I want them to take me to jail. You understand? I just want I only. I understand, although, that what you want is what you get. Although you're just really, really showing them this kind of point of view to say, hey, I have the coppers over here. I have nothing to hide from you people. I have nothing to hide from you people. I want to understand to the bottom of my heart, why do you hate me, and why do you not let me inside the accommodation center over here when you 20 are complaining about me, and here I am, just one of me and 20 of you. I brought the coppers here to ask and question all of you now about me and what is going on. I mean, I want to find out from each and every single one of you the information product of what it is that you hate about me. Because I never hate about me anything. I never hate myself. I mean, why do you hate me? I never hate myself. So I brought the coppers here to ask about this. I mean, now everything's going to be in the spotlight, and then somebody may get very violent over here. I mean, they may get very violent. So what happens over here, that somebody may get really, really violent to the point of that you did call the coppers, and now they're going to get you in front of the coppers. I mean, guess what's going to happen? I mean, the police will grab their ass and put them in jail, and you're going to sleep in that place. I mean, understand? You're going to sleep in that place. But let's say that you are violent with people. I mean, let's say, for example, that somebody comes up to you and hits you, for example. I mean, guess what? You defend, and you put them on the floor, and guess what? You can hold them on the floor. I mean, guess what? I mean, the police are going to come and say, what happened over here? I mean, guess what? I mean, I did a block, I put them on the floor, and I kept them there, and that's it. I mean, that individual may say that you said something. I mean, guess what? I mean, you already win. You already win. I mean, the police are going to say, hey, I mean, he said something, and you have to attack him because he said something. I mean, guess what, man? You're excellent. You just are doing you over here. I mean, now, if the police arrest you because you are self-defending, you say, I'm self-defending. I have nothing against you guys. I'm just here doing my job over here. I mean, that's it. I mean, just go freely to jail then. I mean, go freely to jail because that's the best you can do. You understand? But if you understand, for example, that if you never ever even touch them, you just win. You just win off. I realize now what happens is you can call the police over here, but also you can just walk away. You never have to call the police either. But if you choose to call the police, you will resolve the conflict. You understand? You will resolve it. But I understand every single day, that's why people call the police, because they resolve a conflict. I mean, somebody, let's say, is an attack. I mean, they call the police. I mean, guess what happens? I mean, the police will resolve the problem by putting people in jail. And guess what? You are free. You are peaceful now. I understand? So that's why the police is here, to resolve problems. You understand? So every single day, focus on understanding that if somebody's complaining about you, you call the coppers. I mean, call the coppers. Or just leave the scenario, or leave the place, or leave those people. I mean, if you feel unsafe, you call the coppers. Or you go and deliver quality in the way that you leave the place altogether. But if you want to stay at that place but you feel unsafe, you call the police. You call the police and say, hey, I feel unsafe where I am, but I understand that people around here want to attack me, and I just want you guys to come over here to speak to some people over here in the neighborhood so that you can understand where I am and so that I'm safe. I understand? So either way, what's going to happen is they're going to come down and speak to all those people that hate you, and guess what? You're free. You're free. Because if they do something to you, I mean, the police will get them. I mean, understand? You just call the police again and say, this individual is coming and knocking on my door again. I mean, guess what? I mean, that's what you can do. I mean, if you're afraid. I mean, if they shine a gun to your head and they kill you, I mean, who cares now? I mean, who cares? I mean, if they shine a gun to your head and you say, hey, I apologize for everything. I understand that you look very angry at me this time. I understand no matter what, that I never want to die, but I want to love you. I want to hug you right now. I want to give you a flower. I want to make sure that we're just never aggressive. I want you to shake my hand. I want you to just leave. I mean, understand? I mean, you're just nice about it. I mean, they're pointing a gun to your head. I mean, you say you never have to do this, man. You never have to point a gun to my head. I understand that we're people who are of origin, of different nationalities and colors, and we're just here under God. I mean, I'm Jesus Christ follower. I love Jesus Christ. I'll never hurt you, man. I'll give you my business card. I'll give you my money. I mean, do you want some money, man? I'll give you some money. I mean, try to fend off. I mean, try to sell yourself to never die. I mean, try to say, hey, I'll give you my shoulder bag. I'll give you my portable speaker. I mean, what do you want from me? I'll give it to you. I mean, I'll give it to you. I want to live life. I mean, I want to live life. I mean, do you let me live my life? I mean, I'll give you everything. I'll give you my phone. I mean, do you want to? I mean, do you want me to talk to you? I mean, I can give you some love over here. I mean, understand? So, guess what? I mean, try to sell yourself as much as possible over here, and try to understand that no matter what, you have to do it as fast as possible. But you have to understand your life is at stake over here. So this man or woman may shine a gun to your head, and guess what? You're going to sell yourself. You're going to say, hey, I love you, man. I never want to hit you. I never want to. But keep talking. I mean, keep talking much more than them in that situation, and you will overcome it. I mean, do you understand? But if you're silent about this, or else they may shoot you, because guess what happens? Or else that you have to sell yourself. So speak up and get louder and louder in front of people who are trying to cause you violence, and in front of people who are trying to do anything to you. But all you're really doing is you're communicating everything that you are. But if you're going downhill in terms of violence, or let's say something happens where people are violent with you, but you're violent with them back, you have to understand that anybody who's growing in this situation is going to overcome jail, and is going to overcome prison time, and is going to overcome the situation. I mean, because anybody who's never growing in that situation of violence is going to go downhill into prison forever. But if you understand that you're growing, you have to understand that you can be violent with people as long as you're growing. You can. You can hit people as long as you're growing. You can cause them violence as long as you're growing in Jesus Christ's name. You can cause people violence as long as you are in Jesus Christ's name. I mean, understand? I mean, that's what I mean. You can go and do chopping people in the throats and everything as long as it's in Jesus Christ's name, in a way that you follow the 10 commandments of God. So you understand that? I mean, that's where self-defense comes in. I mean, that's where you never allow them to even hit you, but you put them on the floor and you give them an elbow to just knock them out. And guess what happens? You say, hey, I understand although that this individual came to attack me, so I had to knock them out so that I can be safe. I mean, you understand? I mean, they're going to get the background story of what happened, and then they're going to find out that it really is the case. Understand? And guess what? You're going to be safe. I mean, that's how it is. But if you want to achieve something and you want to go and do something like never touch other people, or you never want to hurt other people in violence or anything, I mean, guess what you do? You just make sure every single day you never try to hurt other people, and that's it. You'll win anyway. I mean, now, every single day that if you want to have sex with other people or whatever you want, you have to ask them for it. Or if you want to give them some money, you have to sell yourself. You have to understand, you say, I have $50. I mean, do you want to have some sex with me for a bit? I mean, you have to understand, although you can always ask them for anything. You have to get them to say yes. You have to understand every single day that now, since you understand that, I promise you it's more power to you. But it's more that if you're afraid to, let's say, go up to them, or to go and speak to them, or to waste your time, for example, I mean, never waste your time. I mean, never waste your time then. I mean, if your time is more valuable than sex, you just be with you. I mean, saying your time is more valuable than other people. You understand? That's what I'm saying. Now, every single day that if you value your time with them, you go for them. I mean, you understand? I mean, if you value having sex with that individual, I mean, go for it, because that's something that you want. But I understand either way that Jesus Christ never does that, because Jesus Christ values time in terms of Jesus Christ more than other people. So I understand either way, that's the only way to go, because understand Jesus Christ, where you can go and have everything you ever want with yourself, and that's it. I mean, you want anything with yourself, you can have it with yourself, and that's it. You never need other people for anything. You have an imagination, you have you, and that's all you ever need. You understand? So every single day, that's Jesus Christ. But I understand other people want to be attaching to themselves in terms of other people, or else they want to attach to other people, or else they want to go around being dirty, and they want to be dirty individuals and have all this sex in the backyard with other people, and they want to have orgies and all this. So I understand, although it's your time, so you can go and prosper in whatever you want to do. But I understand either way that I'm prospering in my life coaching videos. I'm doing something I love to do, but I want to be able to sell myself in every single regard now. I want to understand that no matter what, that now when people come up to me, I price them now definitely. I love rush now, because I can only ever make money in front of people. I can only ever make money in front of people. So I understand when I'm in front of people, I sell money. But if you go on a sales call, for example, and you're trying to sell tickets to people, and you're trying to sell people on money, you have to understand it's really about communicational work here, and it's never about selling the people on money. But what's happening over here is you have to try to make a certain amount of money for somebody else so that you can also stay in the job. I mean, in a sense, so what happens here is if they physically never get the cash from you, from here, I promise you, although, that if you're growing from the communication skill, if you're growing from that communicational skill, you will be in that job. I mean, that's how simple sales is. Approach selling is just calling other people and talking to them all day long. That's it. That's all it is. And if you, as long as you're growing in your communicational skill, you are a high achiever. That's it. It's that simple. Now, if you understand that, I had a sales interview before, and this interview, I was dying. I had no skill over here to even sell myself. And I can actually notice now that it's a no from that guy, because I understand that individual says, you have no ability to even communicate to me. Because I can see it. I was very much worse than yesterday, and I never ever was able to even sell myself, and the guy can see it. I was unaware of it. I was unaware of that totally. But when you're worse than yesterday, you just never even understand life. You never even understand who's famous. You never even understand anything about life anymore, because you never even understand yourself. How can you understand life? You understand? So many people are going around the world today, and they're traveling without any purpose, and they're in depression, and they have nothing to do. But I have everything to do. I have life to do. I make sure every single day that if I go back to that guy today and I say, hey, I want a sales job now, he'll say, yeah. You can do it now. What is your case? I say my case is making sure that your company has everything they ever need. They may ask me a question like, are you able to make 100 grand for us? I can make 100 grand, and I'll show you the tactics I'll show you the tactics on how to do so. How you do so? I make sure I just communicate with you guys every single day much more and more, and I just achieve everything. Now, guess what? I realized that they may ask me, but what are your nice, beautiful core strategies about communicating? Every single day I'm always focusing on doing much more video. I'm always focusing on doing much more video work about everything I do. I'm growing my nice, beautiful persona and mindset every day. I'm making sure I have to talk more. Every single day they can understand your talk over here. And then guess what? I realize they'll achieve you. And then guess what? You have a sales job of 80 grand per month. And all you ever do is just call people up. And now when you're calling people up, as long as you're growing in your communicational skill, people are going to say yes to you on the phone, and you're going to sell them on $50,000. Understand? And guess what? Where is that communication coming from? You have to understand, it's really, really in your communicational skill. There's nothing happening in the outside world physically over here. It's totally a delusion that there is a physical aspect of life in sales. You understand? There's no physical aspects in sales, is what I'm saying. So if you just go on the phone and just talk much better, that's where you're selling yourself on. There's no physical dome where somebody out there is going to go traveling to somebody else to give them a check for $20,000 because you said so over the phone. It will never happen. But they may say so on the phone. They may say it on the phone. You understand? Because how is that possible? It's possible because when you're speaking spirituality, there's no physical work. But what you understand, that sales jobs is just talk on the phone all day long. It's that simple. Call up people as much as you want. People are going to reject you. It's your attitude. It's your attitude. How much are you willing to pick up that phone, man? Guess what? You have to understand, it's that kind of scenario. So if you are willing to pick up more phones to talk to more people, you have a sales job. Do you understand? That's simple. It's that simple to be a sales clerk in today's world. It's so simple to do anything you ever want to do. But if you want to sell yourself, you have to understand it's really that you start with yourself and start with a business card and say, hey, that even before you see my business card, I sell you upon $100 before you even get there. Or $1 million. Every single day. Understand that no matter what, you're going to teach people every single day. But if you have a strange ability to go and succeed for yourself and to go ask anybody about what you want, you can get everything in the moment right now. You can get it for free. You can get it for free. You can get what you want for free. But as long as you understand your time, understand that if you go having sex with other people for 12 hours, you could have made music for 12 hours. You could have done life coaching for 12 hours. You could have went to Coffs Harbour instead of stay at Port Macquarie. You could have went to a new area. You could have done something else that's much more important for you. So understand what's important for you and go do that. Understand? If important life aspects of you, because of your aspects of life are so important, you must stick to that. You must stick to what's more important and go that way. So every single day, focus upon understanding that if you're going around and helping people and succeeding every single day and you're just achieving more and more and more, you just be grateful for your life, but understand that if they say yes, regardless of who's with them and regardless of what's happening around them, you have to understand to open the doors for yourself to be able to get people into your bedroom or into where you are every single day and to sell them upon what you have every single day is the ultimate aspect of life. So if you understand that no matter what, then now you just have more tactics every single day to coach yourself every day about what you do. But I understand although that my spiritual world online is just succeeding online because I'm succeeding, and I understand that there is no physical world online. You understand? Approaching, that's how sales is as well. Approaching sales world is the same way. I mean, it means that what I do online in terms of my work is the same as online work with sales work and a 9 to 5 job, but it's that kind of world. You understand? Approaching, it's all happening online. So what they do online, for example, is they make transactions online on your name. I mean, you understand? Approach, that's it. I mean, if they say yes to giving 20 grand or whatever, approach now, there's a nice, beautiful way to say that it's honest. I mean, you're really, really selling people here. And what happens is you're really selling them upon saying yes. And what happens here is they say, yes, I'll give you 20,000 bucks upon your product over here. Because guess what? I mean, they're going to give somebody else 20,000 bucks. But what you're going to get is you're going to get 10% commission over here. And you're going to make 2,000 bucks on your sale. But other people are going to make 18,000 bucks on you. And what you're going to do is you're going to understand either way, you just made money. And guess what? I mean, they're making online transactions over here. I mean, anything over the phone is an online transaction. I mean, this is an online transaction, and I'm calling you right now on the phone, and I'm talking to you about my product, and I'm selling you upon my product to watch more of my videos and to subscribe and to do everything about my videos much more. I mean, understand? I mean, I'm selling you upon Danny Milivojevic. I'm selling you about being in my life over here. And if you want to be in my life, I'll give you more of this information in different ways. So if you understand how I sell myself daily, is I go and really be smarter about everything now. So I understand now, since I understand that, I understand music production and everything you ever have in life, you have to talk it out of you. You have to understand to go and really learn about everything you ever need, but go and really, really play music and go and do whatever you want to do. But if you're really, really desperate for something, you can go and get it, and then understand every single day that it's always going to fade away throughout time, and then understand that's the only way to communicate daily. But go and focus upon something that you love to do, and that's the only best way for you to go and understand that you can go and dwell upon that nice, beautiful area right here in life, and then understand every single day that when you go and really, really dwell upon communicational skills, you're going to find new tactics and new versions and new aspects of life to go and deliver. But if other people never want to talk to you back online, it's because they never love you. But understand either way that everybody's talking back to you online, regardless of they reply, or regardless of if they reply or not. But if they call you or not, you must understand to call them, or you never have to. You have to understand that if they call you, you're just somebody much more. And then understand either way that it's more about your work and what you're doing every single day. So if you're focusing upon the online area and sex a lot, you have to understand that's what you become. So what you become is what you think about all day long. And I understand either way that it's more about delayed gratification, as Jesus Christ says, than it is going and having sex with hot men and hot women. I mean, in a sense, so no matter what, that you are what you make of your life. So that's it. You're just alone throughout life. You just have to learn how to grow. You have to learn how to guide yourself throughout every single aspect of life. So I understand no matter what, I'm always showing every single particle of my life. I understand. I have to be making sure that whatever you want, you just get them to say yes. And then guess what? You just go and realize that the first time they say yes is the moment you have to get them. You have to get them because there's no other better time to understand that if you feel that you may rape them or something like that, you have to understand that you have self-control. You have something much better than them. You have to understand you never have to touch them. But guess what? You just make sure you understand you touch them nicely. You have to understand that if they go complaining about you, about how you touch them or something like that or whatever, you then understand to say something about your life where you have to understand it's more about how you have to sell yourself over here. You have to understand it's really how you have to notice about yourself that if somebody attacks you, it's because you were hurt. You're hurt. You were hurt in one area of your life where other people went to say something about you, and because other people went to say something about you touching them, and that's why you never ever want to touch other people in a way that is sexual anymore, because other people did complain about you doing that. Understand? So what you do is realize now that if you just go and touch them nicely and they complain about you, you have to say, hey, I'm just relaxing over here. I'm just relaxing. I'm just making sure that we're all getting ahead of the schedule. I mean, did I hurt her? I mean, did I hurt the individual? I mean, did I hurt you when I touched you? I mean, did I hurt you? I mean, guess what? I mean, you have to understand that if they say yes, now, how did I hurt you? I mean, where's the red mark? I mean, show me the red mark over here. I mean, where is it? I mean, show me some evidence that I did hurt you. I mean, if they say over here, I mean, where is it? I mean, that's never that. I mean, now you have to understand that if you never did hurt them, and they're saying that they're pointing to the red mark over here, I mean, guess what? You say, that's never my red mark. I never did that. You understand? Because you never did it. So why are they lying for? I mean, they're lying and they're trying to steal your integrity. I mean, they're trying to steal your heart over here. I mean, they're trying to totally blaspheme you into a prison cell. So what you need to do is you have to understand, you say, I never did that. I never did that. You have to stay to your honesty. I mean, be honest with it. I mean, if you never hurt them, I mean, say it. I mean, if you never hurt them, say it. I mean, say, I touch them like Jesus Christ does. I mean, that's it. I mean, in a sense, so what happens is realize that if they are lying to you and they say, look at that red mark over here that you made me. I mean, you never made the red mark in the first place. So say, I never made that. I never made that. So guess what? I mean, who's lying over here? I mean, guess what? I mean, no matter what, then we go and lead the conversation over here and say, why are you doing this to me? So why are you doing this to me? Why do you want me to go into jail? I mean, why do you want me to go into prison? I mean, guess what? I mean, they're going to reply, and then they may say whatever because you touched me or whatever. I mean, guess what? I mean, guess what? I mean, you said so. You told me to touch you. You have to understand that every single day, that if they touch you, I mean, guess what? You have to understand, you just accept it, but never go complaining about it. I mean, never complain to other people about anything. But if you go and complain about anything, you just be honest about it. I mean, be honest about it. I mean, the guy's snoring, man. I mean, do you understand? I mean, I deserve better. I mean, guess what? I mean, you can complain, you can make excuses, you can blame people, but as long as you are growing with it, you can do it. I mean, saying you can do anything you ever want, but I understand every single day, focus on focus upon communicational tactics. So I understand every single day that if you focus upon understanding that you go up to people and whatever you want from them, you go and achieve it. You go and say, hey, I promise you now, there's no need to be afraid anymore about anything. You just have to understand every single day that you can go and do it. But if you understand that you can go and raise anything in terms of your life to make sure that other people are never going to abuse you ever again. So make sure you're never abusing yourself, because that's why you are afraid to do what you are doing, because guess what? You are now doing much better than yesterday. And guess what? Unfortunately, that's the whole point. The whole point is making sure that you have to go and communicate what you need. I mean, if you want to have sex in front of people, you have to ask and you have to say yes. First, you have to understand it's more they have to say yes, but you have to get them to say yes through your words. Or now, if you want to sell them, you sell them through the words, understand, and sell them through the spiritual dimension. So you're leading the people into the spiritual dimensional field, and then expand. I'm pretty sure that when you're expanding this way, you're understanding it's more that you're speaking from another playing field for them to be able to do so. First, that's it. First, now, if you say, for example, I mean, how about my words? I realize you say, are my words difficult? You must understand either way that if they say no or yes over here, first, it's because why? I mean, it's because you are asking them a question. But I understand either way that it's more because you have to understand that if they say no, you just win. Because how can your words be difficult? I mean, they're lying to you. I mean, they're lying to you completely. I mean, if they say yes, I mean, how is it difficult? I mean, how is my words difficult? You have to say it's more. You have to understand that now. You just go and realize that they're just honest. I mean, are they really? I mean, guess what? Or is that if they say yes to you over here, or now the yes mark, it means honesty. I mean, yes is honest. So if you understand no is a lie and yes is honest. I mean, guess what? Or if I say no to you, I'm honest about it. You understand? But when they say no to you, it's a lie. You understand? I can say no to you and I'm truthful about I. I said that they may say no to you, but they are untruthful about their word I. I mean, that's it. I mean, now, if they're untruthful about the word I, you can just go and do whatever you want with them. Now, every single day, focus on understanding I love I understand every single day, focus upon going and really, really never ever abusing yourself, but go and grow when people are communicating to you that they want you or they want to abuse you or whatever. And then just say, hey, I focus on nice, beautiful accommodation and communicational skills where I can go and communicate much more, because my communicational skill is my accommodation center. And I understand every single day that if you want something, you go whenever you want. Or else if you want to walk into somebody's bedroom at nighttime because they're sleeping and you want to talk to them, I realize now, guess what? I realize that now you can if you understand how to speak it. I mean, if you want to go anywhere, you can speak it. But guess what you say? You say, hey, you start to question them to say yes. It's how simple it is. But guess what? You look like somebody who may really, really understand that no matter what, that if you're trying to do something in the nighttime to kill them or something, you must understand it's because you're scaring yourself. You must understand to go and really, really deliver and say, I'm never a killer. I understand every single day. And now you can do so. I understand, although it's because you're afraid of the nighttime and being with people at nighttime is what's really, really intimidating you. So I understand every single day that if you understand to go and really, really dwell upon all of this in terms of what they're doing and all the orgies and all that nice, beautiful stuff, you must understand every single day focus on you rather than that. I mean, every single day focus on understanding that you never be afraid about anything, but understand if they never give you what you want, it's because you have to give it of yourself first. Firstly, now it's much more that you understand that. Firstly, you have to understand that if you're giving something to yourself, you have to go and get it. You have to understand you have to go get it first, or else that beautiful woman's going to be there for 10 minutes, otherwise another guy's going to get her. I mean, guess what? I mean, what do? You have to approach her first. Or you have to understand either way that she's never going to approach you. But if she does somehow approach you, it's because you catch her attention somehow in a way that you did ask her a question. I mean, every single day you have to understand that when you're asking people questions, you're actually communicating to them to catch their attention. So the more you ask them questions, the more they're into you. I mean, the more you ask them questions, the more they love you. I mean, the more they want to be with you. I mean, guess what? Whereas the more longer they are in time and space with you, the more they want to be with you. I mean, that's it. I mean, if you are around a woman or man for 10 years and more, and you're around them more so than other people, I promise you it's because they're going to be with you eventually. I mean, do you understand? So every single day, focus on understanding that. So realize that people who are together the longest stay together. You understand? Unfortunately, that's that. Unfortunately, now I'm always alone, but I'm making sure I'm always delivering much better. So I understand every single day that if you're going and doing something really, really kind every single day, I mean, if you see anything attractive around you, I mean, go and get it. I mean, if you're afraid over here, it's because of what? I mean, you have the communicational skills. You have to understand that if it's at nighttime and it's all drug addicts and it's all alcohol related in terms of alcohol, in terms of relating of alcohol, and it's all relating to alcohol, you must understand either way. You must go and approach people regardless of what day or night it is, and then understand either way, go through them and communicate to all of them to get what you want. I mean, you understand? I mean, that's how simple it is. But if you are willing to do that and you're willing to go and really coach yourself to go and really, really deliver into time and space and be in nighttime with somebody for some time length of time, I mean, you can be with them for as long as you want, but you have to do you. You have to do your business. I mean, what's more important for you? I mean, is it sleeping with a man and woman for 12 hours or is it working for 12 hours on your growth? I mean, what's much more important to you? I mean, you have to understand that you have to be quick about everything. You have to be quick. So if you're quicker and quicker and quicker throughout time, you'll learn how to really, really schedule your time in a better way. And then you'll find your way throughout life in a better way. And you'll focus upon doing life coaching and nice tactics every single day to go and focus on delivering content. But if you're in front of people, you can get them. I mean, you can only get women and men if you're in front of them. No matter how famous you are, I mean, they'll never go for you if you're never going for them. I'm pretty sure it's that simple. I'm pretty sure they'll never go for you if you never go for them. I understand? Now, if they go for you, you have to go for them. You understand? Unfortunately, it's that simple. Unfortunately, now it's that simple. I mean, if you're running away from people who are going for you, unfortunately, it's because you never deserve them. I mean, do you understand? I mean, if you're running away from people who are running up to you and they're running for you, but you're running away from them, it's because you must be going toward yourself only. I mean, that's the only point. I mean, now, I understand either way. That's what happens with me in terms of before in my life. This woman, or as this woman is chasing me, and guess what? I understand I'm running away from her. I mean, why? I mean, because I need to find myself over here. I'm never even ready for her. I mean, I'm never even ready for her. I mean, she's running to my direction to marry me, but guess what? I'm never even ready for this woman. I never need it in my life right now. I mean, I need myself over here. Understand? I mean, how can I go for her when I need myself? Understand? I mean, I was insecure. So I understand every single day, you must understand that no matter what, that if somebody is running after you and chasing you, it's because they are secure in themselves. I mean, that's the only point. I mean, you have to understand that. I mean, if they are chasing you and you're never chasing them, it's because they are more secure than you and they're more successful than you in that situation. I mean, understand? So that's the whole case. So I understand if they're with you at your birthday party and they're coming to see you, it's because they are saying yes to you. So it means that yes, you can get to them in bed. You can go and get with them right now. So if they're with you on your birthday day and you have these women or men at your birthday, those are the people who can have orgies with you. I mean, understand? I mean, they're the people who you call to have orgies in the backyard or in your bedroom with other people. You know what I'm saying? Because they're your partners. I realize they're your group of people because they're coming to see you and they agree with you. I mean, anybody who agrees with you will always come and see you. You understand? Or they'll come and visit you in jail if they agree with you. I mean, in a sense, so what you do from a jail cell or anything in life is you make people agree with you much more and more. And then guess what happens? You eventually lift off. And guess what? I mean, all this prison sentence that they give you in the prison cells is all bullshit. I mean, they're saying it's all bullshit. So what happens is realize that you can get out of prison even if you kill somebody. And saying you can get out, kill. You have to understand that if you do anything to get out of prison cells, I mean, go for it. I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day, focus upon understanding that you can lift out of any situation really quickly. You can be so good with the guards and everything and start improving your nice, beautiful communicational skills inside the jail cell or where you are. And then eventually, your jail sentence or where you are from may be from 20 years. And guess what? It can drop down to 1 year. I mean, in the next year, instead of 20 years jail, I mean, we'll give you 1 year because you're so nice. I'm pretty sure it happens really quickly. I'm pretty sure you never have to be in jail all your life, but jail is for people who never ever grow. I'm pretty sure if you grow out of jail, you understand why. Even if you kill people and you really, if you literally did kill somebody and you go to prison and the judge says you're in prison for 50 years, guess what happens? You're never in prison for 50 years. It's just that they never get you. They never understand you. So what you're going to do is you're going to understand that, yes, hey, you may have done it, but guess what? You're going to say, hey, I'm a changed man. I'm a changed woman. I did change. I understand now I'm a better individual, but prove it to them and they'll let you out. Unfortunately, that's it. Unfortunately, now, if they never let you out, you are just already free. You're already free. You're already free because you understand life, even if it's in a jail. Do you understand that? You're just free anyway, because anybody that understands you now is you, and that's what you're looking for ultimately, but that's what you really need. You have to understand that you're never in jail, ever, if you have yourself. That's it. All you have to do now, from wherever you are, is focus on learning much more and growing much more. So ask for whatever you want and go and get it right now if you want it. So I understand no matter what you do, that people run away from you because they're afraid of you. Understand? They're afraid of you. Even online. They never talk to you online because why? It's because they have somebody else, or it's because they're never leaders. Understand? It's because they're never speaking up more. I say it's every single day you focus upon understanding that if you want something, you can achieve it. But if you are never doing it, and if you're never ever responding to something that's going on around in your world, and you can get it, but you never understand why, and you never want to, but then you want to, but guess what? You then are in confusion. So never want to never want to. Understand? Guess what? You either want it or you never want it. Understand? It's that simple. You never be confusing yourself about what you want and what you never want. Make sure you understand that you have to go and understand that if she wants you or he wants you in bed right now, if you understand that, it's either now or never. But what you need to realize, if they say later, approach it never means now. You understand? Guess what? Every single day you have to be the one to get them to do it now. If they're saying later, if they're saying to do it later, you have to get them to do it now, because you have to communicate that to them so that they can do it now for you. That's it. Otherwise it's always going to be later because you never did communicate to them. Otherwise, if they never coming up to you, you have to go up to them if you want service from them. It's that simple. Now, if you understand that you can go and do whatever you want, you can go and achieve whatever you want. Or now you have to understand that if you're talking to anybody in your life who is, let's say, close to your family or whatever, you can talk to them in any kind of manner. Is that simple? You can do whatever you want with them. Understand? You can do whatever you want. But guess what? Or else that if you're honest about your life, do you really need them in your life? Guess what? Or else that it's either way, that you go and say yes or no. Or now it's really that you just need yourself. You just need yourself. So if you're talking to other people, it's because what? If you're just wasting time here and there with them to just do random stuff in terms of masturbation with them or on the internet, and you're masturbating while you're watching them or whatever, you must understand, it's really understand that no matter what, that you go and focus on yourself more than them. So it's more about you than them. Otherwise what goes for you, you can do it if you want. Now, what is amazing is understand that no matter who it is, you can go and do whatever you want with them. Understand? But guess what? You are innocent if you're doing it with yourself. Understand? You're just stimulating yourself around their words, but you're understanding every single day that you have to focus on yourself. And now, I understand either way that some people do actually go and masturbate to their family members. Understand? So guess what? Or else if you're doing that, you have to understand that it's more that you focus on yourself over the masturbation in the first place. Understand that it's never the way to go. The better way is making sure that what you need to do is never masturbate in the first place. Understand? Never masturbate to anybody. Understand? So every single day, focus on understanding that yes, you're never trying to physically do anything but other than you. So understand that when you're doing you have to understand it's really that you're turning yourself on about other people in terms of overall. If you're doing that, guess what? Never do it. Go and do your life in a way that is going to help you move forward rather than just jerking it off all day. You understand? So if you understand that no matter what, that you can go and really focus upon your life in different areas of life, and understand that now, since you understand you have to unlock the nighttime, you have to unlock the daytime, you have to understand who is with you right now and who is actually really loving you right now and who is not. You have to understand to change with the times, because the times are changing right now all the time. So go and create those events around yourself right now so that you understand that if you're ready to do it, you'll go and do it. I promise you, although words will lead you into it. I promise you, words lead everybody into faith and wisdom and Jesus Christ and everything. So if you go and understand that if you're going to talk to people and going to achieve something in life, you're going to achieve it because you can, and then you're going to understand either way that if somebody is doing much more than you in life in some certain area, then you have to step up. You have to understand to go and get it for yourself too. I mean, just so what are you waiting for? I mean, guess what? Whereas now, if you're delaying it and you're delaying the gratification with the people, you're just focusing on you. But then guess what? You're long term, you're going to understand that you're going to get more than them long term. But in the short term, you're going to sacrifice in terms of you're going to delay gratification so that you can so that you can have a greater life. But it's never that you sacrifice. You never sacrifice anything. You must understand it's really understand that it's more just do you over over sacred in terms of life. You have to understand it's more do you over sacred nature of your life. I mean, guess what? You just do you over the synchronicity of life. I mean, understand every single day, focus on the sacred ability of your life. I mean, when you understand that you are somebody who is a unique individual every single day, but you have to pound through the communication, and then you have to understand to talk differently all the time so that you can achieve what you want. But understand every single day that if you focus upon understanding every single day to do something that you love to do, you have to have a great attitude about life, and you have to understand that no matter what you're doing every single day, you focus upon your ability to go and really, really love your life. So focus upon understanding to have a greater attitude than all that you're doing right now, because understand every single day that if you're going and really, really shining your naked or nude images online anywhere in front of a crowd where you're teaching them or anything, you have to understand it's more, you have to have a better attitude than that. And then you have to focus upon understanding to teach yourself much greater upon what you need to do. So focus upon understanding that it's more about making sure that you have a greater attitude so that you can go and boost your nice, beautiful scenery. So focus on the words, like I said, and then focus upon understanding that whatever they're doing, you can do it as long as you have more. For sure, as long as you have more, you can go and do whatever they're doing, but you will understand how to harness all that nice, beautiful knowledge for yourself so that you can go and give it, because that's how you achieve it. Now, if they're complaining about you and they're saying a certain amount of time that you can be with them, you just give them more money and there's no complaints. You understand? Because what happens is you can be with anybody as long as you're giving them more money in terms of plastic to be with them. It's that simple, isn't it? That's that. Now, there's no complaints in life, but if somebody's complaining with you, you make sure to go up to them and just do you. Instead, forget the complaints and forget what they want and just go and get what you want. Understand? So regardless of what they want and what they are complaining about, you just go and do your life and make sure every single day that you're never complaining, because that's the whole point. The whole point is making sure that you're teaching yourself much more on video how to really live life. So if you're going and really, let's say, doing anything right now, you must understand you have to grow. You have to understand every single day you have to go perform. You have to understand every single day that I understand that no matter what, the communicational skills will help you achieve it. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to understand every single day you can achieve anything you ever want. You can achieve what you have been watching. In a sense, so every single day focus upon understanding it's all communicational skills that you want really, and it's really that you want to communicate much more into that so that you can go and really do much greater for yourself in success in Jesus Christ's name is what you really, really need every single day. So focus on just loving your life for now, and then understand either way you have to always love your life regardless, but then focus upon understanding that you're always free to do so. You're always free to go and love your life and to ask questions to make it a yes. But if you want to convince anybody of anything in terms of money or anything, the only way to convince people of giving you money is to sell them upon a price and to lower it down. If you understand to lower the price down of life, you have to understand that you stand much more of a greater chance to see. You stand a much greater chance to succeed in the process of understanding that you go from 100,000 to $1. I promise you, they will understand how to sell you upon life. I promise you now, every single day, you are much more worth than that. You have to understand you are understanding that you sell people from $100,000 and more or less, and then drop down the price the more they say no. And eventually, you'll get to a price where they say yes. Understand? That's a sales technique. You raise the price and then drop it down to see who is available and who is not. But I understand either way that if you're somebody who's going around seminars, but they're preaching you or whatever in terms of life, and you have no money to give them, I promise you, it's because you're just going to leave that place, and it's because you had no money in the first place to give them even the smallest package. Understand? So every single day, focus on understanding that was me. I was going to seminars and they're pitching me for all this money. Well, guess what? I never even had $20 in my pocket, but I was at the seminars. Understand? So every single day, you have to understand that no matter what. Sometimes you have to drive 1 hour. You have to drive by train. You have to drive 3 hours or 4 hours by train. Sometimes you have to travel across the world to get to a seminar. But guess what? I mean, at least you're going to be there, and at least you're going to learn and grow with new people. And I understand that either way, that it's more that you succeed more than them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's more that you have everything in your pocket. So right now, I understand that I'm prosperous. I understand my future is great. I have a lot of money coming in. I promise you, it's more that I can see that. I can see my talents. I can see what I can do. I can make big events. I can make big events, and I can charge people at the doors. You understand? And that's how I make my money. And now, either way, I promise you, it's because I have talent. I have talent for music production, to make 10-hour music and to showcase it at a big festival where it's just me, for example. I mean, and that's how I make my money. Or I can make 30 hours of live coaching a week at a certain event somewhere in Australia or across the world, and I can do it because I have the skills to do it. So there's nothing stopping me to get there. So I understand I'm free to do it right now. So every single day, focus on understanding my life coaching can take me overboard. I mean, I can make 500 million. I can make $500 million. I can make $500 billion in this planet and more with my life coaching skills alone. And I understand music production has nothing to do with my life coaching. I understand, but music production has something to do with my life coaching, where I can life coach during my music production. I mean, in a sense, so life coaching is everything as well. I mean, in a sense, so every single day, focus on understanding that if you want to just be dirty and you just want to be something gross, or let's say something minimal, where you're understanding that you just want to go around having sex around and you just want to have sex like they do, or you just want to be so dirty with somebody that you always want, for example, and you just want to be in them and you want to have gratification from them and you want to be able to touch them so that they can comfort you and so that you can be in your comfort zone and so that you can understand that they are the love of your life. And so that you can also realize that because you have them now, you can really have kids with them, or you can get a new woman or man now. I mean, what's the deal over here? I mean, you have what you want over here, and then guess what you're going to say over here? You're going to say, hey, I'm ready to be a man or woman now. I mean, you're going to say, I'm ready to understand. I'm ready to go from that life now. I'm ready to understand that dirty part of me is gone. I promise you now that if you just go down to the dirtiness of your life and you just be so dirty with people and you talk to them so dirty, I promise you eventually you just want to be clean anymore. I mean, I promise you just want to be clean eventually. I mean, you understand? So if you realize that dirty aspects of life is just all this, let's say, talking dirty and all this, let's say, doing positions of sex in all these different manners, and as soon as you get that, or actually now, as soon as you get the dirty lifestyle, I mean now you want the clean lifestyle. I mean, you no longer even want to be dirty anymore, because you've already achieved, you've already done the dirty aspects of life. I mean, now you want to be clean. I mean, you just want to lead people now. I mean, you've already been through the dirty aspects. I mean, now if you just want to be dirty aspects in life, I mean, that's why you're going to stay poor. I mean, you understand? I mean, that's why anybody who's just I mean, they just want to sex. I mean, they just want to talk dirty to you all day long, man. I mean, they just always want to be dirty, man. I mean, they want to be dirty with your husband and wife. I mean, they want to be dirty with a little son too. Or they want to be dirty with everything, man. I mean, they understand dirty people. I mean, dirty people are pedophiles and criminals. And they just want the dirty lifestyle, man. I mean, they want the poor lifestyle. I mean, they want to be dirty with a little daughter who's 4 years old. I mean, they want to be, I mean, your daughter is 4 years young. I mean, you have to understand that nothing's old in this lifetime for me, in terms of my eye. I mean, every single day, I mean, they just want to be dirty people. I mean, they want to dirty talk. I mean, they want to call people slut. I mean, they want people to fuck them in the ass. I mean, they want everything in terms of fucking dirty nature. And they want to fuck up. I mean, they just want to fuck all day long because they're fucking dirty people. You understand? Because they just want to fuck. I understand? I mean, they're looking for a fuck everywhere. I mean, you understand? Because they're just always fucking. You understand? Because that's what they fucking do. I mean, understand? I mean, they're just dirty people. Because dirty people can become clean people. I realize, although dirty people who just stay dirty people are never rich. I mean, dirty people who just stay dirty all their life will never learn how to become rich. I mean, that's what Bill Gates said. I mean, Bill Gates says that if you choose to be poor all your life, I mean, that's your responsibility. And that's your choice. I mean, if you understand that anybody can go poor to rich, I mean, that's the whole point. I went poor to rich. I mean, how is that even poor in the first place? I have to understand either way that when a baby's born, I mean, they are new. I mean, there's no wisdom in them, you understand? Except right now, where you're born into the world and you start picking up and receiving signals right away. So I understand either way that you have some kind of richness right away in life. You start picking up and receiving this information from the world. And now the more information of life you have, the richer you are. I mean, look at babies, for example. I mean, they have certain information products, but they're very, very rich in those information products. But they have to grow their information to prosper and to blossom like a tree and to blossom like a rose. Understand? So when you're growing like a biggest tree in the universe, it's because you are picking up all these signals much quicker and quicker and quicker and learning everything quicker, and that's why you're growing quicker, and that's it. I mean, you understand? Because the poorest people among us right now are the babies that are born today. I mean, guess what? I mean, everybody's born today. I understand? So guess what? I mean, everybody's rich. I mean, everybody's rich. I mean, nobody's poor. I mean, in a sense, so just talk much better every single day and focus on understanding that if you want to be dirty, you can be dirty if you want, but guess what? You have to be clean eventually. I mean, guess what? I mean, you have to be clean. You have to be always clean. I mean, try to understand Jesus is only clean. I mean, Jesus never wants to be dirty. I mean, do you find Jesus dirty in life? Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, every single day focus on understanding that those people and women or men who are just going around doing pornography and doing all this dirty stuff around cameras and behind the scenes and having all these women, and they're just looks. I mean, the looks deceive. I mean, looks deceive you. I mean, understand? Because what's important is looking at the spiritual aspects of those people and how much are they giving you in information like Jesus Christ is what we're looking for. But if you understand that people in the pornography, none of them are giving Jesus Christ information as much as Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm giving much more information than Jesus Christ because I say so. I mean, that's it. I'm giving much more. So if you look at the people today who are giving much more information than Jesus Christ today, you'll find many of them. You understand? Now, if you understand that I'm the only one, I'm sure that's it. I mean, I'm the only one that's doing it because I say so. I say so because I understand so. I mean, every single day, if you understand how to do that, it's true. It's true if you make it true. Now, if you understand that many people are getting these beautiful women and dirty people in terms of the, let's say, information products of, let's say, I mean, they're going with these people, you understand? Although, guess what? You're just going you now. I mean, guess what? I'm always I, but I love everything. I love everything. I make sure every single day that they're always getting around these people, you understand, who are dirty in terms of the beautiful people, you understand? But guess what? I mean, everybody's beautiful. But guess what? You must understand to talk better about your words over here and understand every single day, focus upon understanding that no matter what, that when you understand that people are going with people who are beautiful and having sex around dirty and being dirty about it. But if you have something against that, it's because you have jealousy about that. I never have jealousy about that because I can always do that with escorts and whatever. I can always call people to do that with me and I just give them money. I mean, it's so quick. I mean, guess what? I mean, if you have no words to sell them to, you can give them money and that's your words. Understand? Now, if you have all the money in the world, I mean, guess what? It's because you have all the communication in the world. I mean, you have all the communicational skills in the world to have all that money. So you just throw money at people and guess what happens? I mean, that's all your communicational skills. I mean, if you have 1 billion followers in life, I mean, that's your communicational skills. I mean, now, I understand my following online is so much more today than ever before. I can tell you right now that I'm much better than how my Instagram looks. I'm much better than all my following inside of my Instagram. I mean, you may give me a certain amount of following, but I'm better than that. I'm always better than what you give me. You understand? Because either way, I'm never ever doing anything other than more. So I understand either way that I'm never blocking myself anymore. I understand I was blocking myself here. I understand, although, I mean, how was I blocking myself? Because I understand every single day that I did write before something about having a certain amount of followers. But guess what? I mean, now that's all gone. You understand? I'm always better than the amount of following I have in life. I'm always better than everything. I'm better than yesterday in everything in terms of my life. So if you understand every single day, focus on going and communicating your life to the greatest ability in your life in different ways and go and ask for followers. I mean, ask people to follow you because how else are people going to notice you and your information? So I understand either way that people are going to notice you about what you communicate with them until making sure that you're just living your life to the fullest. I mean, live your life to the fullest extent possible, but be nicer about your kind regards and be nicer about what you're doing. So that you can also understand that if you go dirty and if you are a person who just wants to get around other people to be dirty and just to get something from them because they are a MILF or because they look sexy or attractive or because you want them behind somebody's back and you want to do it behind their back and you want to do it legally and you're so dirty like that. I mean, those are dirty people and then those are poor people as well and they are doing everything illegally and they're doing black money as well and they're looking to always get with your wife and daughter and they're looking to get with your man as well. I mean, they're looking to always do some drugs behind your back too. I mean, they're looking to lie to you. I mean, they're looking to hide from you totally. I mean, they never ever want you to see them completely. I mean, they just want to hide from you in the world. I mean, they want to be nothingness. I mean, they want to go even further than that. I mean, they want to go to prison as well. I mean, they want to understand they want to kill somebody. I mean, they want to hide. I mean, or else they want to hide so much from this world. I mean, they love nothing about this world. I mean, you understand? I mean, that's where dirtiness goes. I mean, that's where dirty people go. I mean, clean people want to be like Jesus. I mean, clean people never want to go dirty. I mean, they never want to go dirty. I mean, that's it. I mean, if you want to go dirty, I mean, understand where you're going then. I mean, understand to raise your vibe and your communicational skills. And if you raise your communicational skills, you then understand why you never must be dirty. You understand? I mean, never try to be dirty with anybody. I mean, guess what? I mean, try to be Jesus Christ totally. I mean, try to do that and try to push yourself into it much more and more. And then you're going to understand why you're overcoming the obstacles of all this information, which is going to help you to overcome it. You understand? But eventually, you have to understand that no matter what you're doing, I promise you, it's more that you're going to talk yourself into a greater way of state of mind. And eventually, you're going to understand that no matter what, that you're going to achieve everything you ever want because you can do it. You can communicate it. You can understand every single day that if you go dirty, I promise you, that's where you're going. You're going then to those aspects of fire and brimstone and prison because that's nothingness. I mean, there's nothing there. I mean, when you're asking for dirty people, I promise you, guess what? You get them. I mean, but guess what? You have to understand that you never trust dirty people. You trust God. You trust Jesus Christ and trust the information of the Bible, and then that way you will be clean. You'll be cleansing yourself every single day. You understand every single day to renew the mind in a new way that you've never done before. You understand? I mean, never be dirty. You understand? I mean, never try to go dirty. You understand? I mean, try to always be clean. I mean, try to be a clean individual. I mean, that's more human-like. I mean, it's more human to be clean than it is to be dirty. You understand? So understand that no matter what, that people who are just having sex around are dirty. I understand? But people who are staying away from sex altogether are clean people. I understand? I'm only sex because I'm clean sex. I'm something who's just with I'm sex. I understand? But I never need other people to have sex with. You understand? And that's the close thing of cleanness. I've clean aspects of life like that. I understand? So every single day I'm always clean. I'm always making sure they understand that when I communicate better, I'm learning every single day and every single fiber and every single aspect of my life to go and really produce the content I need every single day, to focus on what I need, to make sure that I'm cleaner and cleaner throughout time, to go and just really, really relax about my life and get what I need done. But if you understand that if you go dirty, it's because you're shifty. I mean, something in you is shifty when you're dirty over here. I mean, something that's really, really hiding from you. I mean, it's something that you're really, really aspiring to in a way that you have to understand that if you go the way of dirtiness and if you even react to dirty people, you have to understand if you react to what people who are dirty do, you then become dirty. And never try to react to what people who are dirty do. Try to react to what Jesus Christ is doing every single day. Right now, if you understand that if you go and really do that, approach now is eating food and drink dirty. Approach now, you must understand that Jesus Christ does it. Approach although Jesus Christ says no. Approach now, if you understand that Jesus Christ says yes, approach everything from this world is dirty. Understand? Approach now, guess what? Jesus Christ came here and he's eating food and drink. Guess what? Food and drink is gratification, isn't it? So I understand either way that anything that's gratification is poison. So food and drink is poison, and so is eating more food and drink. So eating more food and drink is a dirty habit. So if you understand to get away from dirty habits as much as possible and look at Jesus Christ, and he goes 40 days and 40 nights into the actual desert because he wants to clean himself. He wants to fast. You have to fast food. You have to fast, for example, to delay food and drink so that you can go into the desert for 40 nights and 40 days to cleanse yourself. Understand? Without food and drink because you want to be cleaner. Understand? That's what Jesus done. You understand? That's why Jesus went to the 40 days and 40 nights in the desert. Now, if you understand either way, if you're just chasing other people for sex and drugs and to get some alcohol and some cheap cigarette or something like that, and then you're asking them for some sex in return, and you're asking whatever in terms of dirty style, you have to understand you're just going to become what you ask for. You understand? So ask for better things in life in terms of better aspects of life, and you'll get it. But understand every way in terms of life that you must know your I only, and then understand that no matter what, you can achieve what you set out to do. I understand that I ask for this nice, beautiful trance music that I ever want. I am getting it now. I'm finally being able to produce this music. I want to produce this music for the rest of my life. I want to be able to make this music really, really great. I want to be able to go around the world and be a trillionaire and be much more than that. You understand? I want to be more than everything. You understand? Because I'm more than everything. I brush every single day. I focus upon understanding I want to have all this nice, beautiful everything in my life. That is much better. Understand? I want to be able to achieve everything that other people have in way of Jesus Christ only. Understand? So every single day, focus on that. Focus on understanding that's the nice, beautiful way of saying that you're turning away from gratification over here but you're going into Jesus Christ, you understand? So if you want to have, let's say, sex with other people eventually because you're going to get all this money, firstly, that's a dirty habit. Firstly, that's a dirty habit, you understand? So focus on understanding that anything that's a dirty habit is never Jesus Christ. Unfortunately now, if you understand to relieve yourself of dirty habits and go the new way and focus on understanding that people who do anything but Jesus are suffering, but if you know the word I only, firstly, you can never suffer. You can never suffer in this lifetime. First, now, if you understand that if you go opposite of Jesus Christ and you understand the word I only, first, you're free. You're free. But guess what happens to those people? You must understand they are scrutiny. Unfortunately, they are people who never even love Jesus Christ. I mean, guess what? I mean, if you understand the word I, you have to understand you have to love yourself only. I mean, that's all Jesus Christ wants you to do. First, now, Jesus Christ says, yes, I want you to do your life. But if you choose to go away from Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ says that if you know your I, first, how can you go away from God? I mean, how can you go away from God if you know the word I? You can never go away from God if you want to be somebody totally away from Jesus Christ, but you want to go into your word I. You can always manifest everything. I mean, Jesus Christ says everything that you ever want in your life is in your word I. I mean, you understand? I mean, if you want to go downhill in your word I, you can do so. I mean, it's what you choose really. I mean, what you really choose with your word I is your ultimate self. I mean, it's just who you are. So it's just more that you're innocent about that. So if you understand that, if you go understanding that, I understand that no matter what, that I never kill anybody. I follow Jesus Christ's 10 Commandments, for example. You understand? But I never want to go, let's say, killing people. I never want to kill animals. You understand? I mean, it's just who I am. I mean, that's the true, authentic self of who I am. But if you understand that somebody else may want the word I, understand, and have all the Jesus confidence, but then go and kill somebody too. I mean, guess what happens? I mean, that's who they are. Understand? I mean, that's just who they are. I mean, guess what? I mean, what do you do to those people? I mean, they're never following Jesus Christ either. But guess what? I mean, they're set free. I mean, these people are set free, but they're killing people, but they understand it. I mean, they understand they're doing it. I mean, they know thyself, and they're killing people. I mean, guess what? I mean, they're free to do it. I mean, that's it. I mean, they're free to do whatever you want. You're free to do whatever you want. But guess what? You are going to be held accountable about what you do. So that's why humanity has a nice, beautiful prison cell for you to go into as well. Understand? And then you can go and know thyself in a prison cell all your life. Understand? Unfortunately, that's why humanity makes different laws than Jesus does. But I understand either way that you follow Jesus' laws regardless of your human laws, and that's it. I mean, I understand that if you do anything other than Jesus Christ today, you face prison cells. Understand? Unfortunately, it's that simple. But if you know your I, you're free. I mean, you're free to do whatever you want, but go and follow Jesus Christ anyway, is what I'm saying. Because otherwise, somebody else, you must understand that your life must be you only and never somebody else. But go and really focus upon understanding that it's just that. I mean, if you choose to be dirty, it's because you're never choosing Jesus Christ in that moment. But you're choosing something different. You have to understand, although the 10 Commandments say that if you delay gratification, you shall win. You must understand that the words delay gratification means stay away from anything other than Jesus Christ. Understand? I mean, I understand that when Jesus Christ puts the 10 Commandments in life, I'm sure the 10 Commandments mean delay gratification as well. You understand? Now, if you understand, never cut your word I out, you will learn to go and really, really dwell upon a better way, and then you'll learn how to really, really, let's say, prosper. You understand? So either way, that if you choose the path of least resistance, you will grow. I mean, if you choose the path of most resistance, that's where you're turning away from Jesus Christ. Understand? Because what is resistance? I mean, resistance is anything to do with something that you're denying and something that you never allow. So if you never allow yourself to grow, it's because you're resisting. So if you're resisting it, you have to understand prison cells is something that's resisting you too. Understand? So when you never resist yourself, I mean, that's why you can fly the world and you can go anywhere when you're never resisting. So allow yourself to free flow, but follow Jesus Christ and understand either way that if you go and really, really do anything in your word I, it's because of you and who you are. I mean, you understand? But I understand every single day that if you choose to go and really, really deliver anything that you want, you have to understand that masturbation with Jesus Christ is a no. I understand? But guess what? I mean, Jesus Christ says yes, you can do it. But I understand every single day, focus on understanding that it's more that you must understand that masturbation is never a part of Jesus Christ. Understand? I mean, being dirty is never part of Jesus Christ. Understand? I mean, masturbation is a dirty habit. Understand? Then by Jesus Christ's nature, Jesus Christ says yes. I mean, why? Because Jesus Christ says that it's gratification. You understand? It's you gratifying you, and it's totally just for you. You understand? But when Jesus Christ says that you must understand that when it's totally for you, you have to understand that is what? I mean, that is selfish. I mean, Jesus Christ says, I need you to be selfless. I need you to understand that if you're selfless, you understand then how to really dwell upon Jesus Christ. Understand? I mean, if Jesus Christ is only selfish, I mean, that means that Jesus Christ will never give you anything. I mean, you understand? Now, if Jesus Christ is selfless, so Jesus Christ focuses on Jesus Christ and you is the ultimate deal. But if you're just focusing on you, it's because you need to learn how to focus on you and other people. You still have to learn how to do that. So once you have that nice, beautiful information product that you need, you eventually get away from all the dirty habits eventually, because you have all the communicational skills to do it. And that's how you're going to grow. I mean, that's how you're going to outgrow all the demons that you have with dirty nature and dirty habits, because you're going to communicate your way into Jesus' lifestyle much more. And that's the only way. There's no other way. Now, the physical aspects and all that, now, guess what? Now, you can still be doing all that masturbation in that time. It's very easy to reach down into the pants or whatever and start masturbating at those ages, of any ages of this world. But you have to communicate your way into Jesus Christ. This is what I'm saying. And that's the only way to do it. The only way to really, really delay gratification is to speak more Jesus Christ. That's it. Now, if you understand that way, that's how you delay gratification. You delay gratification through speaking more. And now, when you understand that, no matter what, you guys can really, really understand how to do that better now. So I understand either way. I'm always really, really enjoying my life, but I'm always looking for ways to improve. So guys, see you guys in the next video, but just enjoy your life and understand that no matter what, lift people.